All right, guys, we're live. I'm pumped. I'm not going to say I'm excited because that's what I've said for the last 98 episodes. This is episode 100.
Congratulations, man. That's
absolutely
awesome.
Insanity. I always tell people, and Scotty's just started releasing some of his YouTube stuff, and we were kind of talking about being uneasy on the camera before you get started. I always tell folks, man, listen, put out like 50 videos, then start worrying about stuff.
Yeah. It's true. It's so true. If not 100. I mean, people I've talked to, they're like, man, you got to knock them out. You got to get 100 on there before you even start worrying about anything. So
it's just so weird having a camera and like trying to.
It's weird. It's 100% It gets easier, but it's totally weird. Absolutely.
Yep. Well, guys, introduce yourself real quick, and then I'll get into all the normal stuff I got to cover, and then we're just going to get right down to it.
Go ahead, Scotty.
All right, guys. I'm Redhat Scotty. I started a deal of Questionable Performance Solutions. Been doing this a couple times. This is, I think, the third or fourth time I've been on with Narcs.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'm the veteran. It's really weird. Like when that got dropped, it kind of freaked me out a little bit to realize I was the veteran.
Yeah. You're the dude that's done Drag Week and Drag and Drive events. This will be your 8th, right?
Yep.
Sick Week will be your 8th.
Number 8.
Dude, that's so awesome. And then Robbie, you've done. You said you did Drag Week, right? 2019.
Yeah. So we did Hot Rod Drag Week in 2019. Nice. So that was the VMP, Cecil, MIR. Atco, and then back to Virginia Motorsports Park, and
nice.
We had a blast. I mean, it was awesome.
Nice. I see Corsilli Motorsports popping in here. He's on next week. Mike Corsilli.
He's my boy, man. He got a pretty nice truck, man. He's
dude,
good
so
dude.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited. So, all right, well, let me get into what we're doing here. Sick Week prep, guys. If you haven't been around the podcast before, basically leading up to an event like this, we obviously try and make sure guys that are newbies, rookies. Robbie's not a rookie if he did Drag Week, but guys that don't really, they're sitting at home right now going, what do I do? They're asking questions on the page. What do I do? How do I prep? What do I need? All that kind of stuff. So we want to do that. We want to kind of bring it in. We want to have some fun. We want to talk about all the cool stuff we're going to get into and all of that. So, but to do all that, we got to thank sponsors. We got to thank people that made the podcast room possible. So sponsors, Hawassi Tire and Lube. He has some tires for me. Just got to go out and get them for the old truck. And then the podcast room, guys, Dino Cardella, Hot Carl Malibu, love that dude. He donated Tom Stark with Precision Designs. Him and Blaine are going to be in the wagon, the 55 wagon. Tyler Petrum, Ryan Wing, Matt Monroe, the Big Bad Daddy, Cowboy Yankee, John Marat, and then there's somebody else. Hang on. Donovan Green, Daniel Green, his brother. I'm actually editing videos for quick cuts for the podcast that he did, episode 78. Those will start dropping tomorrow. So I'm cutting out, 8 or 10 minute snippets for folks that don't have the 2 hours that we typically spend on a podcast to come in. So, all right, what else we got here? Let me make sure I got everything. Oh, dude, no. All right. You guys know Instagram, YouTube, all that kind of stuff. We do it for fun, right?
Oh, yeah. Well,
there's 2 of my buddies that are hosting. They're doing the YouTube or YT1K 2022 challenge, race to 1,000 subs, 815 LSX swaps, which was over in the chat here a minute ago saying hey, and then Patina Pit Stop, Casey. They're both racing. They're like mid 550s, racing to 1,000. So if you haven't subbed to those guys, make sure you do that right now, and then come back to this because we're going to talk all kinds of stuff. So again, for the folks that are just getting here, drag and drive event, veteran, drag and drive event, rookie. I'm going to quotation mark your rookie because you've competed.
In relation to 7 of them, it's definitely a rookie.
Oh yeah. I've been on 2, and I feel like I'm somebody.
There you go.
We'll get into the list of folks that are coming. I will say the week leading up to Sick Week, we're doing the 6 pods of Sick Week. Where we'll go daily with guests. Our first guest for that one is Luke Niewhuff. Do what?
Say that 6 times fast.
Dude, I can't say it 1 time slow. So, all right, enough of my blabbering. Dude, let's get to it, okay? You guys kind of said your names, but tell everybody where they can find your stuff, how to follow you, and all that.
Go ahead, Robbie.
Yeah, for sure. So, oh man, so I'm kind of like a 15, 20-year chassis builder. So I've got Robbie Dowdy race cars, done a lot of chassis fabrication over my life. And then I wanted to kind of separate like my day-to-day from like the YouTube side of things. So we've got Coastal Racecraft. So that's just basically dedicated to like our own racing shenanigans. And man, if you've ever sat in a freaking race car or fast street car, like this channel, it's a YouTube channel, so it probably resonates with you. It's just a lot of late nights in the shop, and the highs of highs and the lows of lows drag racing. So we're
that's
on
all in one weekend.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So we're all Coastal Racecraft on YouTube. We're Coastal Racecraft on Instagram, and if you love like drag racing memes, check out my stories because I try and post one like every day. So try and keep it exciting on that, and then we do a little bit of stuff on Facebook too. But yeah, YouTube and Instagram is it's my home base.
There you go, Scotty.
Sorry, I got the dude over. He's trying to figure out some stuff on his phone, and Narch, you know the dude.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, like I said, man, Questionable Performance Solutions is my deal on YouTube and Facebook. We're just getting started, and it's literally just me, the dude, my buddy Noah, and our buddy Nate getting stuff ready for drag and drives. It's us making fun of each other in the garage. If you like goofy, silly, funny stuff and like watching me bobble my head and talk, you might like it.
Man, what's so cool, I think right now we're going to see, there's a ton of guys that are doing what we're doing, which is basically recording what we're normally doing in the shop, right? What'll be cool is like in 20 years, what's that going to mean for like the stuff we can go back and look at and laugh?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So I'm excited about that. All right. First little bit I want to ask about is obviously the cars you guys are bringing for the event.
Yeah, so we're bringing two. And we did this in 2019 too. So I've got a 08 Trailblazer SS. And we'll get into it further, I'm sure, but it was kind of a daily driver turned, hey, let's make this a race truck.
So now I need a new daily driver.
Completely unintentional. Yeah, exactly. So so we got that, and it's pretty cool. I like it. And then we're also bringing my buddy Chuck's 2012 CTS V Coupe, and you guys will not be able to miss it because it's pearl white, and it's got purple and black flames on it from headlight to taillight. So it's a little excessive. So we actually wound up calling the car excessive.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot to come on that one too. It's going to be we're hoping a low 8, high 7-second street car when it's all said and done.
Jeez, what's the power plant in that thing?
It's right now it's a cam only LSA, like stock blower LSA deal. But we're building a Precision Racing Technologies is building a 427 hammer for it, and we want to try and get the LSA record, which I think right now is mid 850s. So we're gonna try and get that, and then I think down the road maybe we'll get a little crazy, put like a Roots on it and a carbon hat sticking out of the hood. So we'll see.
Yes,
still LS based.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
and Scotty, you're bringing the Rickety Rocket.
Yep, bringing the Rickety Rocket out again. My 1989 Ford Mustang Coupe. It's a legit junkyard 5.3. It's got a VS Racing turbo on it, Holley Terminator, Turbo 400. The fastest pass I've gone in it just happened on race week back in September. Went 10:19 and 131.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And yeah, that literally, when I say junkyard, I bought that motor off somebody's garage floor in Tulsa on race week 2020 and put it in the parking lot or the pits of Tulsa Raceway.
Yeah.
So we made it.
That motor's lived.
It's living. We're gonna do Sick Week with it, and once we get back from Sick Week, I'm gonna take it apart and switch some things up a little bit.
There you go.
Nice. That's awesome. What classes are you guys running?
Great question. So I'm still figuring it out. I don't know. My background in racing, like I've got that like competitive nature. Like what I'm bringing this go round, probably competitive wise, like we'll probably just do like dial your own. And I don't even know how competitive I'll be in that because it's a totally new combination for this. Right. But I'll probably do that, and then we're going to do the 850 275 class. So yeah, whatever they call that, the
Nice.
class that everybody's in, basically. So,
Right. Scotty?
Oh, yeah, actually, yeah, I do. That'd be super cool.
Yeah.
So I'm going to run the dial your own also, just really because the car runs 10s. The rule about the 1 second reaction time is going to be interesting because it does take that car a little bit to get spooled up. But either way, as long as I can run a 10 every day again, like I did on race week, that's all we're after. And then, last day I might turn it up and try to get that 9 finally.
Yeah.
there you
Dude,
go.
you were so close. I mean, we'll be at great elevation for it, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I'm really excited to be down in Florida. I've never been to Florida. So being able to run these tracks that I've seen and watched and, on the TV and YouTube and everything else, it's super, especially at SGMP. I've wanted to go there for so long. And when we found out we were going there, I was super excited about that.
Well, that and then like the Don Garlitz tour and all the stuff that's going to go along with it, man, I'm like, let's go. This is going to be fun.
Oh, you're going to have a blast, man. You're not going to want to go home.
Yeah, probably not. It's literally the way that this was presented. It's like a week-long block party with racing.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to race in the mornings. I think that'll be the biggest change for me. I'm used to all I've ever done is 2.0, so it'll be nighttime and you run all day, get there, change tires and race. Now it'll be get up and race. It'll be strange.
Mm-hmm.
Right, for sure.
Yeah, so I'm excited to not be racing. Actually, I've said it all over social media, but I'm excited to co-pilot. It's going to be weird, but you guys are going to see me like hanging out the window of this Model A all the time. I'm telling you, I'm ordering I ordered today a 256 what do you call it, megabyte, right? SD card for the GoPro, and I don't know how many videos I'm going to take. We're going to go live all the time in shorts and all that kind of stuff for everybody that's at home, because I know that's like the biggest struggle everybody has. They want to see content. They want to see stuff that's going on. So like, you get
right
the live
then and there,
streams.
man.
Yeah, dude, they see the live stream, but that's just the racetrack, I think some of the race stuff, I'm going to turn this heater off in a minute. It's really creating some bad nostril stuff for me here. But there's a rumor that Adam Dorey is going to be live in the pits, and when they're down between rounds or something like that or cleaning up, they'll actually pivot to him and he'll be able to do some interviews with folks and things like that. So
that's going to be awesome having Adam running around. I mean, he's such a great announcer anyway, and then for him to be on more personal level for a change is going to be super cool.
Yeah, him being able to talk to people will be a plus for him, because he is such a personable person, and then he gets up in the tower and doesn't get to hang out with anybody.
Right.
So we got some folks popping in the chat here. As we go through the night, I'll bring up stuff as we come across.
Oh, there's my boy Chuck right there with the CTSV. He's up in here.
Nice.
Yep.
I hope he heard what you were talking about him a while ago.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't let you talk about me like that. All right, so we talked about that. We talked a little bit about car setup for Scotty, but we really didn't go into the Trailblazer SS. What's the plan for it? Because there's a rumor about some record you're going to attempt.
Yeah. So, like I said, it was kind of one of those things. It was a daily driver turned, hey, like let's make a drag and drive car out of it. So, if I would have picked a car, I probably wouldn't have picked that to begin with. But here we are. So, all my other stuff's like legit race cars, which I guess looking back, I could have made one of them a street car because it's freaking pro mods running around now. But so when we ran it here shortly before we changed some stuff up on it, it's kind of going back to like the forum days. You had the head cam cars, like the cam only cars, and like the bolt on cars. Yep. So we actually we already set the Trailblazer SS bolt on record with it. So it's the only Trailblazer SS that's ever been in the 11s with the stock long block, basically. So just like aftermarket, like supporting stuff. So we went 1194 with that, and then we also we would index race it in like street car takeover and all that. Yeah. And we put a 200 shot on it, and it runs 1040s with the stock motor.
What?
Yeah, oh yeah, it's a ripper. And so I mean, people, it's so unassuming, but it's a freaking 10-second SUV. Yeah. And now I'm actually taking the nitrous back off of it, because now now that we got the bolt-on record, I want to get the cam only record for a Trailblazer SS, which right now that's an 1154. So fingers crossed we can freaking hit it out of the park down at Sick Week and try and get the cam only Trailblazer SS record.
That's awesome.
What cam is that?
It's Secret Squirrel cam. So it's Precision Racing Technologies. They ground it for us. I don't even know if I even know the specs on it. He was like, "This is what you need. Stick it in there." Oh yeah,
this is what I need to do.
It's some Project X stuff, but if everything goes like we plan, he's definitely gonna release it and have it as like a good like cam only deal because it'll work for a lot of the full size trucks and all that as well. But my only catch is the converter in it is set up for nitrous, so it's like so tight on motor. So we'll see. It'll be interesting. I know I'm giving up about a tenth, probably 1/10 and a half in 60 foot. So we'll try our best and see what happens here. But I'm gonna try and get that record while we're down there.
Yeah, that's awesome. That sounds like a fun. That adds definitely a little bit of complexity to the week too. Because one, you got to worry about your average too and your dial, and then like, what do you
and we're chasing and tuning on it all week long to make it faster. Because I mean, I got it running 2 nights ago. It's like not even tuned yet, so it's we're gonna have some fun. But that's all right. We got a week, so we'll get it figured out by Friday, hopefully, if we make it that far.
Right? I can't believe we are we're 3 weeks out, something like that. I was kind of putting the math together. I'm like, holy shit! I got an email from
going fast.
Yeah, got an email from the flight company. They're like, hey, you're 22 days or something. I'm like, oh shit. This is crazy. Bring it on. Let's go. I'm ready. All right. So I guess that leads right into the next one. What do you guys have left to do for the trip? What do you got to do to get ready?
Oh man. So all I got left to do is everything. So we're on the Trailblazer. It's not bad. So I got a dyno appointment scheduled. So I'm going to throw it up on the dyno, and I've got a Holley Terminator X on it. So I can tune it. Definitely not the smartest person, but I can get that figured out. So I got to get it on the rollers, get it dyno tuned, just get it cleaned up. The CTSV is a completely different story, man. That thing's all apart. We're putting a 850 cage in it right now. I've got the top end of the motor parts. It needs everything, but we will be there with it. Make no mistake. So yeah, Trailblazer almost done. Cadillac, we got our work cut out for us, but we'll be there.
I'm pulling up the picture you posted. Was it on Instagram or on your Facebook?
Probably so.
There was one. It was like the CTSV and the back of the Trailblazer. I was trying to pull it up.
Let's see here. In fact, I can show you.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Yeah, that'll be easier. Anthony Harville says he's putting my motor back in right now for Sick Week.
Oh, he's way ahead of most people then.
yeah. There's several folks that don't have anything yet. They're like, I got time. We got 3 weeks.
Oh, my car's actually still together. I hadn't touched it since race week until 2 nights ago. I changed the oil, changed the plugs, doing a nut and bolt check. We're not taking the trailer this time. I'm just going to take the basket, so I need to go through the basket, make sure the tires, everything fits. I should have my street tires for my street wheels tomorrow. And I think other than that, we're pretty much ready. You got to change the oil and stuff on Dude's truck for the ride down. We're pretty good, though. So
yeah.
There you go.
Scotty, where are y'all coming from? Go ahead and show us, Robbie.
Yeah, so it's like one of our YouTube videos, but that's it right there. And believe me, you can't miss it. I mean,
you're not gonna miss that one.
You can see it from a state away.
Yeah.
So I'm right outside Kansas City, Missouri. My house is 30 minutes from Arrowhead.
Cool.
So I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget, 1,280 miles to Bradenton.
God, dude. That's why I've never gone. We've threatened to take the cart down to like a Freedom Factory event or something like that. Mm-hmm. It's like 16 hours, man. I'm like,
yeah, I think Google said it was 18 and a half hours.
Jeez, that's probably right. So you're 3 hours north of me. So
yeah,
that's about right. Dang, dude, that's nuts.
God. We're 896 miles. So a little bit of a drive, but let me tell you something right now. Anytime I'm headed south, do not mind it. Freaking jump on 95, set the cruise at 100, and just freaking roll on.
Just cruise out. Now, will you drive the Trailblazer, or are you guys going to trailer both?
So since we're freaking bringing the whole band down, we bought. I got a video of it on our YouTube channel. So we bought a 50-foot wedge trailer.
Oh man,
yeah, because we got the Trailblazer, we got the Cadillac, and then Chuck's bringing a trailer. So we got that, and then freaking knowing me, I'll see something between here and Florida that we want, so I'll just put that on the trailer too, and then like set the U-Haul trailer on top of that or something.
Right.
But yeah, so yeah, we're bringing a 50-foot wedge.
That's freaking awesome.
Oh yeah,
that's awesome.
I'm envious that you have a 50-foot trailer, but I'm not envious that you're pulling it like that. So
right.
It's a long time in the truck, but man, it's good company though.
Yeah.
Well, that was our other thing too. So there's some guys in the Taco Time Fairmont that are like 2 hours over in like by Tulsa, and so I was like, oh man, I'll just ride with those guys. I'll talk. And then I was like, no, I'll probably better fly. I don't know them well enough to be like, hey, I'm coming with you. Yeah. They'd be like, what?
Oh, dude, it's a 2.5 hour flight for us. I wish I could fly down, but
yeah,
until I own a plane, man, we're stuck doing this.
Yeah, you need a C-130 or something like
that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, we got all the naval bases right here. I'm sure I got a hookup somewhere that could probably make that happen. But
right. Somebody here says pulling a trailer through Atlanta is always an adventure.
Oh yeah.
What up, Martin?
And then Chuck says 98 miles an hour. It's
oh yeah. Yep. He's proven it. Yeah, that's all it'll do.
Yeah, just set the cruise, babe. Let's go. That's awesome. And then so I just dropped the link to the Coastal Racecraft
Sweet.
YouTube channel. I'm going to do that for questionable performance as well. What else would we need?
That's a good T-shirt, man. Questionable performance solutions.
Yes. Actually, so that is one thing we're trying to get a small run of shirts for Sick Week.
Yeah,
and it'll have across questionable performance solutions, and then we've got a deal for the back. So
there you go.
If everything falls in place, we'll have some shirts down there.
Mine's in the pipeline, but geez, man, with this trying to get the car stuff together right now, it's like one day. It's on my list.
Yeah, it's too hard to keep up with all that stuff, man. And
it is.
I don't build nearly the cool stuff you guys do.
Smart man.
Yeah, I wish. Whatever. I'm working on a Trailblazer right now. Got that stupid Atlas motor in it.
Yeah.
Listen, I almost LS swapped it the other day. I was like, listen,
I think there's
burn it.
I saw a guy like a Comp Eliminator running one of those motors, and it was like, what? But
yeah,
evidently it's a ripper, man. Apparently,
other than all the custom kind of fab work you got to do on those 4200s, they're apparently pretty badass.
Yeah.
I mean, Calvin and Andrew Nelson were on a couple weeks ago. I mean, dude, they 700 wheel, stock bottom end setup.
Wow.
Yeah. This is like a reground cam setup and everything. So, I mean.
No, yeah. They probably don't make nothing for those things. That's what you have to do. Yeah.
Yeah. I can't imagine. I don't want to get into any of that. So this is just going to be my daily life. I just want to drive this thing back and forth to work. So I don't have to drive the stupid 93 Tercel while the old truck is down.
I mean, that's why I play with LS stuff is because I can go to the junkyard and get a motor for $100.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And the cool thing is, like, as you gather stuff, we've got a couple of oil pans, we've got a couple of 4 sets of heads. All I need is a short block, and I'll have it's the whole thing's ready. You got cams and valve springs. You should end up with all the fun stuff, as you work through all that. All right. So we talked about miles. What's the weather like where you guys are, like compared to what we're going to get into?
It depends on what day you ask, man. It was like 70 the other day, and it's like evidently we got this freaking snow system coming in, which we'll either get none or 3 feet, but it's bitter.
That's us too, yeah.
It's bitter. I hate this time of year. I'm a Florida guy at heart, so it's just rough.
Yeah.
And I'm born and raised in Missouri. If you don't like the weather, wait 30 minutes. It'll change.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, like today it was like 50 some degrees. We just got out of a cold spell, last week or whatever, and then it's supposed to snow, I guess, Saturday.
Yeah, but today it was 60. I mean, it's 60 here. Justin Chestnut, who's the driver of the Model A that I'm co-piloting, he said 75 to 80 every day. He lives in Tampa.
Oh, man, jealous. Well, one day I'm going to have a Bradenton address one day, man. Mark my words.
That's awesome. All right, let's see. We talked about, have you guys ever been to that part of Florida? Robbie had said, yeah. Man, you guys, we answered all the shit.
I'm sorry.
We got 2 hours of time to take up here, okay? And then
Darks, we'll go way off script. We always do.
Oh, yeah, we're fixing to here in a minute. He lives in Bradenton. I'm sorry, I said Tampa. He lives in Bradenton. 9 to 10 inches in Iowa on Friday, from what Danny said. Yeah, there is a huge system. I mean, we're literally having a sleepover for our daughter Friday night, and we were going to do the movies on Saturday, and it's going to snow all day Saturday. So it's like, okay, we're doing something Friday night, and then taking the kids back to their houses on Saturday morning, so we miss it. So because people here are idiots. Idiots.
Oh, it's everywhere, man. I tell you, we're right at the ocean, so like the ocean water warms the air up just enough, so like they'll get, I say dumped on. I mean, like 8 inches around here is a lot of snow for us, but like we'll get 8 inches an hour down the road, and then we'll get nothing here. It's like the frickin' that ocean water, man. It warms up the air just enough. It saves us every time.
That's crazy. Yeah, Scotty ends up in the same kind of stuff we do, but he actually gets more snow than what we do here. Like we have this Walmart bubble, and they're like, "Oh no, them people at Walmart, they're going to work. Just turn that weather changer on." I got to turn this heater off. Let's talk about: are you bringing a trailer? Are you going to yard sell? All that kind of stuff for the trip. So y'all talk about that. I'm turn this heater off.
So
Scotty, what are you
no
bringing?
trailer for us this time. Normally we do have our trailer. Not going to try to pull tandem all the way to Florida because that is terrible.
Yeah.
So we're just going to basket and yard sell it. I'll yank everything out of the car. We did that one other time on the Rocky Mountain race week, and it worked out pretty good. We had a real good system of loading the car, unloading the car, dropping the basket, and it'll work for us. Should be fine.
There you go. Man, when we did it in 2019, so I brought a trailer, so I pulled it behind the Trailblazer, and then Chuck with the CTSV, he did it without, so complete yard sale. And man, after that, we swore, which you can't put nothing in a CTSV coupe anyway, so we swore after that, it's like, we'll never do it without a trailer ever again. And then fast forward to Sick Week, and I'm going to do it without a trailer against my better judgment. But Chuck is going to bring one this go around. So we're putting a cage and everything in his car. So like, I mean, we can't even freaking put a lunchbox in his car now because it's just no room. But so yeah, so at least he'll have one. But I brought my wife with me when we did Hot Rod Drag Week in 2019. And I mean, she packed like we were moving. So it was even, I guess, better that we had the trailer then. So it's probably going to be, it might just be me this go around. So with that being said, bare minimum, I'm just going to throw it in the Trailblazer. And I hate unpacking and packing every single day, but it is what it is. So
at least though you do have the Trailblazer. So you do have a lot more room than most of the people going on here.
No doubt. So it just, man, it's like, it was so nice with the trailer because it's like, just take out what you need, swap it over, leave everything else in, roll up there, boom, hook up, and we're gone. And it's like, and then like, Chuck's got everything spread out, and I'm kind of like laughing at him, like, yeah, I bet you wish you had a trailer now. So I'm sure here in about a month, he's going to be like, yeah, where's your trailer at now? So
right. Yeah, I always tell people, like, if you're just going to yard sell it, like, it would be like packing up all your stuff every day on vacation.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's like, I'd rather have a stick in the eye, but I like an adventure. So
yeah, it's going to be fun. The first year we did 2.0, we yard sold it because I was like, you gotta earn it, you gotta do that, And then we were like, we'll never do that again. The rear tires were like 80 pounds a piece, and we had to put them on the roof every day. I was like, nope.
Yeah.
Screw that.
I don't know, man. I think earning it would be renting and dragging them crappy U-Haul trailers.
That's what I had. So I pull up in there. I got when we did Drag Week, I got one locally because it's like, I'm not going to drive all the way to freaking Richmond because they're all gone. Everybody's already reserved them. So it's like, I'm just going to bring one for home and bring it with me. And so we pull up there, and they've got this like nice brand new one. So I go ahead and, I back it up and all that. And we go to hook it up. And they're like, oh, no, not that one. That one's got like a light issue. They're like, you get this one over here. And it was like this 1949, like it had like hookups for like a horse. And I'm like, come on, guys. Like, really? And they're like, no, it's fine. And I'm like, I didn't even plan on having like this to worry about my whole trip. And I'm like, this freaking trailer's going to like lose a bearing. And man, I totally judged it. That thing was a trooper, man. It didn't give us a lick of issues. I don't care if it was 100 years old, man. It was,
dude, that has to be,
it held in.
Has to be the same exact trailer that we had when we did it in 2015. Dude, that thing, when I the dude drug it back home. So I was at work. He was off. He brings it back to the house, and I look at it. I'm like, what ditch did you pull this out of? But I mean, it worked. It was good. We didn't have a single lick of problem with it. But
you're like, you didn't pay to rent this one. You stole this one.
Seriously, it was like on a clearance lot somewhere or something.
That's awesome.
I'd say, looking back though, man, I wish I could buy that trailer because it was awesome. And we've been trying to find a used 4x8 trailer here locally. They don't exist. It's like, or they want like $5,000 for it. It's like I could buy a freaking 24-foot trailer for that. So So we, we're gonna U-Haul, or Chuck is, he's gonna U-Haul it again, and it's we just cannot find a decent one anywhere. So I'll probably end up making an aluminum one down the road with all my free time, but it's on the list.
Yeah, I had that one. Yeah, custom built trailer for the drag and drive events that you do once a year. It's always a good idea. Yeah,
my honey-do list of the house is like a mile long. It's like the last thing I need to be doing is building a 4-foot or 8-foot trailer.
You're like, but honey, listen, I've got to get this done.
Yeah, you don't understand. This is important.
It's important. Yeah, she's like, no, it's not. I promise.
She thankfully, knock on wood, she comes from a racing background too. So man, it's very understanding. She's a trooper, man. I tell you, I'd be lost without her. So she's awesome.
So actually, speaking of wives, last night was my 9th wedding anniversary.
Oh, congratulations!
Hey,
very nice.
Congratulations.
Me and the wife went out, but as far as her and racing, she could care less. She's not into it.
That's okay. Yeah, everybody has their thing.
But she is 100% the greatest supporter I have.
That's all I can ask for.
She's letting me go to Florida without her. Yeah, I don't know. I brought it up, and I took a couple days before I introduced the idea to her, and she was like, "Yep." She's like, "It's the first event." She's like, "You love this stuff. Go do it."
So mine's 7 months pregnant. She's due in March, and so when this popped up, I was like, "Hey, Mandy," and she loves Florida too, so it's even worse, So I'm like, so this thing's popped up and. It's in February. You cool if I do this? And she's like, oh yeah, I'll only be like, 8 months pregnant, and sure. Like, what could go wrong?
Go.
You'll be 1,000 miles from home.
Go 896 miles away from home, please do that.
I've got I got a 15-month-old son, so I was here for him. So if I don't make it for the second one, hey, at least I was there for the first one.
Yeah, I mean, hey, well, if you didn't make it for the second one, it was because it came early.
Not my fault. Not my
red
fault.
light. Yeah. That's funny. Oh my gosh. Man, dude, you stair-stepped him there. 15 months
dude. Oh, boom, shotgun it. Boom, boom, done. I mean, it's like, and I'm telling you right now, I ain't having another one. We getting a dog, and that's about it. I am calling a timeout. We are done.
Yeah. Hey, I'll tell you this. 2 is 5 times harder than 1. So good luck, bud.
Oh, and this one's a girl, too. So it's like, I'm doomed. Which I guess they say the boys are harder in the beginning and get easier with time, and the girls are the complete opposite. So
I don't know.
Yeah.
The only thing about, I have 2 girls. They don't pee straight up. If you're changing the diaper, they don't pee straight up. So that's kind of a benefit. You
catch it.
Yeah.
I've got 2 girls, McKenna and Mavis. They're 9 and 6, and they fight like the WWE on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're awesome kids. They're actually really, really good, but they just love to pick on each other.
Oh, yeah. That's
girls,
normal.
Man. Yeah.
Yeah. So my oldest turned 12 yesterday, and then the youngest will be 9 on the 1st. So literally the weekend we were going to do her birthday party, Dad's going out of town, so we had to scoot it back, and all this fun stuff. So, Dad, family stuff, cool. All right, car stuff. Let's talk car stuff. Let's talk hotels. What I know Scotty kind of wings it every time. Did you do that this time too? That's awesome. We booked as early as we could get them.
Yeah,
I got hung out on trying to get in. I waited, and then when the public registration came up, and I got in, and then I kind of forgot 5 seconds after registering that I needed hotels, and so we just didn't.
About that.
That's not our style. I mean, you know how we do. The one time that we did book for the entire week on a drag and drive, we broke the car on the way there, and we had hotel rooms. So we honestly think it's kind of bad juju for us.
There you go. Fair enough.
Absolutely. I'm a planner, man. I'm just, man, I don't know what it is. I'm just like my ADD and ADHD and my OCD. I got the whole alphabet. So I got like everything's got to be planned out. So like literally like 15 minutes after they were like, hey, like we're gonna do sick week, I was like, well, let me just go ahead and get my hotels. So
Let me book
like
these.
literally, it was like, but and and of course, I'm sure like I don't know the way the friggin' internet works, but they start getting rid of all the hotel rooms. Like all of a sudden, the price is gonna go sky high.
Oh
And,
yeah.
that's race car money. So I'm like, man, I'm gonna get them while they're cheap. So yeah, so we
Right.
got all of our hotels, and I'm gonna do a video every single day of sick week, and then edit it that night, and of course
Yep.
I'll upload it next morning. Boom. So like,
Oh yeah.
hopefully they got like halfway decent internet. So
Dude, there's gonna be a bunch of us in there on it.
oh yeah, I was going to like
Yeah.
drive like an hour away just to frickin' upload a video. If it's not already bad enough, then having
Oh
to do
yeah.
that. So.
Yeah, it's brutal. We so 2.0 2020, man, like I was up till 3 o'clock every morning because it just wouldn't load. Like the computer would go to sleep trying to load it. So like I'd set a timer for like every 10 or 12 minutes, and I'd just wake up and do the computer. So oh man, it was crazy. This year wasn't as bad, but
anybody who doesn't have a YouTube channel, man, like it's like the worst part of it. Like
yeah, because the only way for small YouTubers to kind of beat the rush, you got to be first.
Oh
you
yeah,
got to be out. You got to be
Yeah.
out 6-7 a.m. so people on the East Coast can be watching on their drive to work.
So we'll have one up, probably mid morning of the next day.
Yeah.
Get it posted, and yeah, man, we're a planner. In fact, you guys probably know, but maybe some of the other people don't. They released the dates for Hot Rod Drag Week 2022 today.
Yeah.
So I went ahead, already got all my hotel rooms for that too. So just in case, I don't know for sure if we're gonna go yet, but probably about an 80% chance we are.
Nice.
I got some stuff.
That's Memphis and St. Louis, right?
Yeah, so Memphis, St. Louis, got Beach Bend. What's the other one? Steele, Alabama. So yeah. So hopefully play my cards right, and family stuff's in order. I'm gonna try and squeak out and do that one too. So
yeah, that's awesome. That's going to be a great loop. We may end up running over just to hang out for St. Louis and Memphis.
Yeah.
But I'm not even going to. I want to do 2.0, and we got to build a car between now and then. So
yeah,
the hope is that we can have enough video views before 2.0 that I don't have to take the cart on it because we'll have given it away, and then I can build the jet boat car. So
there you go.
It'll be way more fun, I think. So hotels, and then Scotty, he just sleeps in the car. He doesn't care,
dude.
Oh yeah, I find a Buc-ee's, and we sleep in the parking lot there. I slept underneath my car at Summit Racing. We slept on the side of the road next to some power station.
So it'll be different because typically, we'll race and then drive overnight, which is, man, it's kind of crazy. Steve and I were talking about, my little brother, we're talking about it. You leave the track, you're freaking jazzed up, adrenaline's going, and then you drive to the hotel and go to sleep. Like, man, damn, that's not,
oh yeah.
So racing in the morning, well, I mean, we would go back and I'd edit a video for 2.5 hours, just trying to get something out from the day. But, doing that, I think you guys would turn around and then start heading towards the next spot and hit like a checkpoint or something like that, and then find you a spot, right?
So what we do on the race week deal is once we get done racing, we kamikaze through the night, take advantage of the cold air, and go as far as we can, find somewhere to sleep, and then either run the rest of it the next morning or whatever. And it works for us. So this is really going to be way different for us this year. Or this trip.
I don't know no different. I'm so used to doing the racing in the morning, so it's like I guess I'm set as far as that goes.
So we drag week does it that way.
Yeah.
And we've done a few of those, but then ever since we hopped over to Rocky Mountain or race week, especially race week, they run at night and take advantage of that nice cold night air.
Absolutely.
How does the mornings affect not just times, but like track prep and things like that? Like, I mean, are we going to see better times because we're running, 8 a.m. to 2 or something?
So, I mean, in all my years of racing, I mean, typically, obviously, one, like, who's prepping the track. I mean, that's most of the battle. I know like Tyler's going to be doing a lot of the prep.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I mean, I know Orlando and South Georgia, they have a freaking killer prep program too. So, yeah, I mean, running in the morning is a lot better. I mean, obviously, midday he gets on the track. It can be a little tricky. You're definitely racing the racetrack on a higher horsepower car. It's way more critical than some of the slower stuff. But we're like when we're racing, it's typically 8 to 2. I think Sick Week they said they're doing 9 to 3. So like towards the end, yeah, I mean, like if you ain't had your stuff together in the morning and you got to hit the track again like later in the afternoon, you not only have the pressure trying to get the car figured out, but then like you're really racing the racetrack then. So it can be a little bit more challenging, like if you're already scrambling to try and maybe get back up there and stuff. So we'll see. I mean, it's February. I mean, that's something to keep in mind. So Rich, I know it's still probably mid 70s, probably 80 down there anyway, but man, like drag week, like hot rod drag week when we do in September, it can be brutal sometimes, so even more critical. But knowing the tracks that we're racing at for Sick Week, I don't think we're probably going to run into it too much. They all should be pretty good.
Traction's not going to be a problem.
Nah, I think we're going to see a lot of broken parts more than likely. So hopefully it's just not ours.
That's awesome. Yeah. I hope not us, man. I don't know. I was telling Robbie before this, we've come to. Justin says the car's developed a little bit of a rattle as you start it, and so every now and then it'll do it again as you're driving it. I'm like, oh man! So,
well, they say turn the radio up and that fixes that. Is that?
Yeah. I don't know. So he's got an unproven 406 on the stand, but to do that, we lose the blower because that car's got like 12 to 1 or something like that. So it's like, do you chance it with the in the bottom, or and keep the blower to look cool, or make the week,
Put a quart of gear oil in it and send it. So
hey, 80 W90.
Yep.
Let's go.
Oh yeah, all the old pressure.
All it's got to make is 1,000 miles, and it's slow. I mean, I think we'll probably run 16s in that car based on what he's saying. So it won't hurt it.
Have fun, man. Have fun.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Danny Fat is asking, is it supposed to be drier in February, aka not much rain? I hope it doesn't rain a whole lot.
Actually, yeah, no, February is a great month in Florida. So like they get a lot, like summertime, it rains like every day at like 3:30, 4:30 for like 30 minutes, and then it goes away again. But in February, we've been down there a lot, and
nice.
Nah, it's like it couldn't have picked a better time, honestly. I mean, it's the drive getting to Florida might be a little bit rough, but once you cross that state line, boys, man, it's you in the home stretch there, it gets pretty nice.
Bring it on. I'm ready.
Yeah.
It's going to be good. All right. Let's talk goals for the week.
Absolutely.
One, I mean, you got to make it. You got to make the
week. It to Friday. I think that's probably on everybody's, especially if you've ever done one of these before.
Yeah.
People they get caught up in the competition of it. If they've got something, halfway competitive.
Yeah.
But man, after you do one, it's like, dude, just
make it. Just make it.
Like when you pull on the track on Friday, it's like, oh my God, like we did it. That's definitely number one. I know we want to try and get that cam only record. Again, that converter being a little tight. I don't know. And it'll be heavier than I usually have that thing stripped way down when we like to try and do some, freaking Hail Berry record run. So it'll be a little heavier. So I got a couple things going against me, but fingers crossed. I really want to get that cam only record. That's awesome. That's high on the list.
Yeah,
that'd be cool. No, I just want to run a 10-second pass every day. I don't care if it's a 10.99 every day, just a 10. And then the last day I'm gonna shoot real hard for that 9.99.
Yeah,
that'll be that'd be the perfect way to send off this motor is to get that goal. And I'm gonna keep everything intact as I do it.
Yeah. Keep everything under the valve covers.
Yeah, because as soon as we get back, the motor train is coming out. I'm gonna put in a different setup. So I'd really like to get the 9.99 with that motor.
Hell yeah, that'd be awesome. Especially like considering you swapped it on 2.0 and then now at that point attended 2 other, race week drag and drive event style things. Is there anybody you guys want to meet? Is there any cars you're excited to see? I mean, anything like that?
Oh man. So
like meet, like as a new or just people I want to see again?
Yeah, right. Well, with as many as these you've been on, I'm sure everybody probably knows you as you walk through. They're like, there's that hat.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a ton of people that I love seeing every time. Yeah, like the dude said, dude's over here on the couch with me. Vinny Barbone with the Sam Squanch, the Geo. We ran with him in 2017. I can't wait to catch up with him again. It's been a few years. It's always good seeing Scott Brown with the Bel Air, Texas. All them guys.
Yeah, he's on my list for sure. That car is just awesome.
Very cool. I come from like the top sportsman and pro mod background, and like I'm always like even when I was a kid, like I was the kid on the fence. I ran juniors and all that stuff, but like I was the kid at the fence, like watching the pro mods and like just wanting to like be that one day. Yeah. And I'm still that kid. Like even like very fortunate we get to mess with a lot of those cars now, but like so I'm kind of like inherently like I'm drawn to the unlimited cars, like Schroeder's car. I mean, I'm a big Jerry Bickle fan. I buy a lot of parts from them for a lot of the chassis fab stuff that we do.
That's cool.
So I mean, of course, they got a killer Bickle car. So I haven't seen it in person yet, so I definitely want to check that out. Man, who else? It's gonna be cool to see Lutz back out. I haven't seen him, in the drag and drive stuff in a while. But then people, I mean, I don't know, maybe because I kind of look up to a lot of these people with some of the YouTube stuff, but like Kevin from KSR, kind of a like-minded individual. He's smarter than me, but like he kind of reminds me of myself a little bit. Do a lot of the same kind of work and all that. So it'd be really cool to meet him. I met Cleetus at Streetcar Takeover Charlotte, and like we were in the stage lanes, and I mean, dude just came up to me and started talking to me like me forever. And I thought that was pretty cool. So I have been able to meet him, but like I'd like to meet Jack Stan Jimmy. I'm a huge Nova guy. So us Nova boys, man, we got to look out for each other. I ran a foot brake 67 Nova for 10 years. I got a 66 hardtop that one day I'll do something with again. So I've had it forever, but so that I've been kind of saving it for a drag and drive bill when I can get some money together to make it happen. But so that'd be pretty neat. But man, I don't know. There's just I love meeting new people. When we did Hot Rod Drag Week in 2019, day number 1, 2 boys pulled up beside us in the pits, Craig and Joey with a white C5. And, we kind of hung out with them for a little bit and kind of talked to them. And then like Monday afternoon, as we packed up to start doing the drive for day number 1, we were like, hey, like, you guys want to follow us? And like, yeah, sure. No problem. And like, fast forward to Friday, best friends, like, so in fact, they're doing Sick Week. So, nice. Craig's building a regular cab short bed truck. It's in like 1 million pieces right now, like everybody else. So, but they're going.
He's bringing that on Sick Week.
He better
be watching this in the garage.
He just picked up the block like 2 days ago from the machine shop. So he's got to put it back together and all that. But I'm looking forward to seeing them. But yeah, man, like I don't know, I'm a little bit of an introvert, but like I love meeting like-minded people. So and I love the older stuff. Like I love new Corvettes, and I've had like 20 4th gen Camaros and stuff like that. But man, if you got a 1st gen Camaro, a 66, 67 Nova, or 55 to 57 Chevy, man, like we're friends. Like that's just how I am.
I think just the list of folks that'll be at this event, compared to some of the folks we've met, because doing 2.0 twice, you run into a lot of the same folks. You know what I mean? Like you become friends and things like that. So I'm excited. Just a ton of new people. I'm gonna hang out with David Newburn, whether he likes it or not, because he's a super cool guy. And then I don't know, just those unlimited cars are insane. Yeah,
it really are. It's I guess a modern marvel, if you will. I mean, they're envious.
6 seconds, 250 miles an hour, and then drives 150 miles to the next track. That's.
I mean, people like
insanity.
I mean, a lot of racers, they probably get it, but like maybe like a lot of the more so just like casual fans and things like that. I mean, may not have a little bit like a concept of like what it is to even run one of those things like at the racetrack, but then to freaking pack everything up in it and drive it 1,000 miles, it's like it's just hard to fathom that like you can even do that. So
I've done these things and I can't fathom.
Well, we went to 1 year Drag Week came to Tulsa, and it was 6 or 8 years ago or whatever, and we went over and Yeah, and Larry Larson was in the S10, and they were changing turbos. Like they changed the entire exhaust system, or well, just the turbos, but to drive. Like it was like an entire production. You know, it took like an hour and a half to get the car changed.
They changed the turbos, the exhaust, the radiator. I think the doors, like all kinds of stuff. They had a whole rig on their trailer of stuff that they moved out.
Yeah, it was crazy, and that was like, okay, that's next level shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you know,
you gotta really want to work on it.
Yeah, right. And you got, and that's every day. Like that's what people. You know, there's a lot of folks that are our fans that, you know, are casual car guys. You know what I mean? They may have a project car, they want one, whatever. You know, like this kind of stuff, like that will completely change your whole life. And now you think you're doing a lot by driving a Narcs cart, you know, a Grand Marquis Death cart, got nothing on it, you know, and then doing all that change. I mean, imagine changing the turbos and the oil and you know, adding a radiator back to the car and complete fuel system and all that kind of stuff. So
absolutely,
it's wild. It's exciting. And then let's see, what track are you guys most excited about besides South Georgia Motorsport?
Yes,
all of them.
Yeah,
Scotty's like, take me to Florida.
Yeah, can we go now?
Man, I tell you, the only track I haven't been to is Gainesville. So for that reason, I'm excited about that. Yeah. We used to go down to Orlando. It was Halloween weekend every year. And of course, they still have it, but it's a little bit later in the year now. But the World Street Nationals, like in the heyday of Outlaw 10.5, like, man, like it was like the early 90s of NASCAR. Like that's when like small tire drag racing was great. And so we would, you know, every Halloween weekend, we'd go down to Orlando for that. So there's a lot of nostalgia for me kind of going back down to Orlando. Granted, I'm in a freaking 4,000-pound SUV, but so that'll be pretty cool doing that. And I've never physically raced at Bradenton, so that'll be neat to actually be on the track surface there. So I'm pretty excited about that.
I'm pretty excited. So the fun spot down there, that's Orlando, right?
Yes, yeah. So like iDrive area, yeah.
So at the fun spot, they have the Bigfoot. It's now the fun spot or whatever.
Yeah, it used to be. I think Race Rock was there. Yeah.
So I'm like super excited to go there just to stand in the wheel and get a picture. So I'm a huge truck nerd.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm gonna have to follow you that day for sure.
Yeah, I'm like like I did a whole bunch and made sure it's still sitting down there. So I'm super excited just for that.
You're on Google Maps, like, okay, it's still there. I see it.
I was.
That picture from 2021. Good, we're good.
The day we drive to Orlando, I'm a huge like Disney World guy. Like not so much like the movies, but I love the parks. Like more so from an engineering standpoint. Like it's just really cool. So I don't know. Like we might have to like when we get to Orlando, like make it a late night or something, like go to the parks one night or something. Man, it's just like I can't go to Orlando and not hit up something. So ride rock and roller coaster or test track or something like that. So
there you go. There you go. I don't know if we'll do that or not. My kids are like, "You're going to Orlando?"
Yeah.
I'm like,
"How could you, Dad? I thought you loved us."
Yeah, I'm like, hey, you're going later in life. You take yourself. That's awesome. I don't think I have any other questions. Freedom Factory Party. You guys excited about that one?
Oh yeah, make no mistake.
I'm pumped to visit that.
That's gonna be awesome. I'm so glad that Doug and Motion, everybody over there is doing that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a blast. So, sure. I mean, y'all, that's all my questions. Let's talk about some real shit.
Yeah, let's do it.
Just snowball. I don't care. I just don't want to go inside yet. I mean, I feel like typically we go like 2 hours, and my body's like, you hadn't been in this chair an hour yet. We're good.
Oh, man, listening to the stories of you and Scotty, man, it sounds like you guys could talk for a week straight. And
that's pretty much true.
We have.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Yeah, one night we ran out of time. I think I only had like a 4-hour limit on that one that night, and it shut it down. I was like, okay.
Scotty, how did you get into cars? Like, what's been like, I guess, your evolution in cars up until this point? Like, I'm always fascinated. Was it like a family thing, or like, did you get into it by mistake? Like, I'm like third generation, so I never stood a chance. But what's like, how'd you get into it?
So I grew up around the street rod world. My dad and my uncles had street rods. My dad still has his 46 Ford sedan. I spent the majority of my childhood in the backseat of that, going around the Midwest, different car shows. We've been to Back to the 50s in Minnesota, all kinds of good guys events. I've been to the Street Rod Nationals. Then as I got a little bit older, I ended up kind of going for a ride in a Fox Body Mustang. It was my cousin's friend. We ran up to the gas station, and we kind of skirted up the street in it. And as we get out of the gas station, the 5.0 emblem caught my eye. And ever since then, I've been hooked on those things.
Yeah.
So it just kind of progressed from there.
Very
and
cool.
Then I think I've owned like 13 or 14 of those cars.
Oh, yeah.
So,
that's like me with like a 4th gen Camaro, man. I've had like my exact count, probably up to like 25. And I always like every time I get one, I'm like, I'm never going to buy another one of these because like they're awesome cars, but they're not. And I'm like, I'm going to, I'll mess with something else. And then I got like 2 right now. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know what it is, but interesting. Yeah, no, I've always been a diehard GM guy. Like it's my thing, but I like a clean notch, man. Like on the ground, it's hard to beat. So
were your folks GM guys? Like, is that
yeah. So like, God, I'm gonna kind of date myself here. So like my grandfather raced. So like he ran like Norfolk Speedway. They called it the dog track. So like he did round track racing. I think back then it was all dirt and whatnot. So he ran with like Joe Weatherly and all that. And so like my dad would always tell me stories about like he would go to the track with my grandfather, and like he was a kid, so he was playing underneath the grandstands and like getting in the dirt and all that stuff. And they'd go out there and race and tear the car all to pieces and come back, cut the sides off the car, hammer everything back out and put it back on. And so my dad seeing that, over the course of time, he kind of veered more the drag racing route. So so he ran back before like all the dragsters took over. He ran like Super Comp and Quick Rod, so the 890 stuff. And so he has 2 chassis 69 Camaro, real pretty car. It was kind of like ahead of its time for that time period. And so he did that. They didn't run a whole lot, but they probably about, I guess, once a month or so they ran that. And then our local track at the time, this is early 90s, was Suffolk Raceway. They had like the Little Guy Nationals there and all that stuff. Well, they wound up closing Suffolk Raceway down in 92. So that was like a pretty devastating blow for our area, because like the next closest track was MIR in Maryland, which is like 3.5 hours away from here.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So it's kind of tough.
Way too far.
Oh, yeah. So they wound up selling the car, and then he's always been big into like, fishing, offshore fishing and all that. So he kind of focused more on that again.
So your dad has expensive hobbies.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he picks all, and he, of course, he adopted that on me. So it's like I have a lot of stuff and zero money. So you can't take it with you. But so
that's right. I mean, you spend it.
I'm telling you. So, yeah. And then, he kind of got me into drag racing. I ran juniors, and then, we towards the end there, I was real fortunate. We were able to get into a top sportsman car and started the chassis stuff, did that for a number of years. And then a good friend of mine's got a PDRA Pro Nitrous car that we do a lot of work on. And a couple good buddies of mine run top sportsmen. So we've done a lot of work on their cars. So that's, I say this, I would love to run like the Freedom 500. I don't know if I'd want to do like a nice circle track car, because it'd probably show how much I suck at it. But like, I don't know, like running a Crown Vic, it's on my bucket list. So so like Garrett, if you're watching this, sign me up.
Listen, here's what I need. I need to build
to do it.
I need to build NarcScart 2.0, and I need one of those shitty Crown Vics that he's got down there. So that's our other goal. There you go.
Yeah, I think he's probably the biggest sole owner of Crown Vics of anybody else in the country.
Yeah, any taxi company, they got rid of those things a long time ago.
Oh yeah. He's
slowly by the dozen.
Pretty much.
He's like, oh, you only have 30? Oh,
yeah.
Like the dude that does the cages for those now, I wonder if he just like in his sleep bends cages.
Oh, absolutely.
For Crown Vics.
Yeah, I tell you, man, it's. Like I use a CNC bender. So like once you like write your program and you have the stuff.
So fancy.
No, dude, I've been doing this for a long time. I look young. I've been doing this a long time. I can promise you so. But like, it's an investment. It's
Hey, listen, I've
every dollar I made,
every bar on that cart, I do.
Yeah.
Cannot imagine what a CNC would be like. It'd be awesome.
It's a game changer. It's just like anything. You invest you make money, spend every dime of it, put it right back in the business.
Yeah.
And it's allowed us to like speed up production. So you get the money back, but it definitely makes it nice. See, I'm sure they got something where even if it's not, you you got your measurements and you just freaking, you do nothing but knock out 20 main hoops. And then that's just probably the only bar they even been to those things is the main hoop. And then
I think they run a down bar like a door bar,
door bars, and it may even be a 4-point. Yeah. So once you get your freaking hoops made, man, freaking put you some 6x6 plates in, burn them things in, and roll on to the next one.
Yep. That's right. I'm sure that's what happens every time. It's either that or a big hole salt.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of, driving slow cars fast versus fast cars slow on circle track type racing. So
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. That's interesting. That's Crown Vics around that would be fun, I think.
Oh,
because dude, this car's taking a beating, and we shit the trans out of it because of Blaine. Because he told us to put the 100 shot in. We were going to go 75, and surely that would have been fine.
He gave you the super tune-up.
Yeah, he's like, I told him, I was like, man, we're stopped. We were Oklahoma City. I was like, we're going to buy, because I had like a 35 jet in it, and it's got a GT45 on it. It makes like 3 pounds of boost. It's really for looks, fun stuff.
Yeah.
2-valve 4.6. And so I was like, man, I'm going to buy I really wanted a 13-second pass. It had been like 14.9 before the turbo. So I was like, low boost and a little bit of nitrous. We should get there. It's more for fun. And so I was like, we got like a 35 shot. And it went like 14.7 or something like that. He's like, oh, no, to get your 13, you're going to need a 100 shot. I was like, we're going to buy Summit tomorrow. I'll buy some jets. Oh, yeah, man, no problem. Dude. Yep. Lost overdrive at Enos, limped it to Tulsa. And then after Tulsa, lost third gear and half of first gear. So we sprayed the balls out of it, though, for a long time.
But the engine was fine. So.
Oh, yeah, engine's fine. He was right on that part. So
he gave you the tune-up. So
yeah. So I think we're going to put a junkyard trans in it and see if somebody can stall it. Cut the factory stall a little bit. Because I'm not going to spend $700 on a stall converter for a Crown Vic that.
Yeah.
I'm giving away. So.
Yeah, giveaway car. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's need to do another one with an LS swap, though. Yeah,
well, so let me tell you all the story here. LS Fest is early September. And so I had threatened to pull the setup out of the old truck with just a 4.8, 4L80 deal and pull it out and put it on a trailer and then LS swap the cart at 2.0. Like pull in day one, make a pass, and then pull into the pits and pull the 4.6 out and throw the 4.8 in. And
dude, that'd be awesome.
Now I've been thinking we may do it at LS Fest and then just have a LS in it for race week. So I don't know.
I support it fully.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Sounds like a lot of work. I'll stand right there in the background supporting you. So
well, dude, we've done you know how it goes. You do so many LS swaps, you end up with all the shit, And so I mean you're literally a trans cross member modification. So we'd probably do that's why I need one of the shitty ones from Cleetus. I need to do the swap. Get the mounts, get the drive shaft cut down, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, and then we're ready. Pull in with all of our stuff. I just need Holly Terminator X Max to be sponsored by Holly.
There you go.
Holly, if you're listening, come on. Somebody knows Holly. Send them out. Tell them at 1 hour.
Get this man a Terminator X.
1 hour and 3 minutes. Somebody come on. I'll do it. So I think doing it at Race Week would be more fun, to be honest, just because, the Race Week family already knows the car.
Yeah.
We would literally do the swap. It wouldn't be hard. It's 5 wires, it's 3 wires for the Terminator setup. So,
it's one of the best things that I ever did on the Trailblazer. I mean, like I say, this guy's running 7 seconds on it now. It's like what was and still isn't a affordable entry level thing, man. If I ain't very smart, so like HP tuners, it's like way over my head. But man, that freaking Holly, dude, it's like freaking air spark fuel, boom, like it's so not. You ain't got all these modifier tables, it's
Dude, and all the safeties
nice.
that they have built into the Terminator.
Yeah,
it's just amazing.
Kind of a genius strategy on their part to come
sure.
out with that level of EC. It's something that's just been needed in the market for so long. So
yeah, I love mine. I had an HP in the car for a while, and then I took it out to put in another car, and then I put a micro squirt in my car. It worked. It was fine. Then I went back to the Terminator. Oh my God, it's so easy to use. It's just one of the nicest things I've ever done to the car.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have so many options in it that you can do, especially now they added the input-output extension box.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
No.
Absolutely. So nice. I mean, you can almost get to Dominator level.
Yeah, really. I mean, truly, and like the nice and bad is if you ever want to upgrade to a Dominator down the road, it's the same wiring harness. You freaking, just unplug it, plug the Dominator in, freaking keep on rolling. So it's I mean, the Terminator X, I'm sure it has its point, but I mean, for most people, it's...
I mean, here's the thing: the cart's going to make 500.
Oh yeah,
like
you're running that right now, so yeah.
I mean, it does fine on a stock ECU now in the truck. I can't imagine that. It'd just be nice. So Holly, hook us up.
There you go.
I'll do it at LS Fest. I don't care. Just
absolutely.
Give me the chance. So,
so is LS Fest is still in Bowling Green? You said it's early September.
Yeah.
Man, I need to get the neighbor hater done and take it down there.
Yes, because we need a place to stay.
Yeah, well, exactly. So we can swap people out. And when you're doing the swap,
is this the motorhome that you got, or nice?
Yep. I literally have. So I bought a 1989 Mallard Sprinter RV.
Oh, classic! Very nice.
It had a locked up 350 in it when I bought it. Turbo 400. We yanked that out. Got a 5.
The shag carpet is 4-inch shag.
Oh yeah. Sticks out the top of your toes when you walk on the carpet.
So we got a 5.3 Summit Racing, the little RV torque cam, 4L80 in it.
Oh, dude, it's a ripper. Go ahead.
Terminator X Max in it.
Because it's gonna get boost, right? Like you got to boost the RV.
Come
on, you're gonna upgrade the rickety rocket turbo. So
that's awesome.
Put that one over in there,
man. If I could find an LSA blower for a reasonable price, I would do that versus the turbo.
That thing needs an F1X or something. You got to have that Pro Charger whistle on that thing. Oh yeah, go big, go home. All the boost. Now you're talking. That's
those wheelies. What the hell is happening here?
Dude, we just give you a bunch of good content for your channel there. So.
Yeah. Hey, that's what it is, man. Hey, so let me ask you this. Now that you guys have been doing YouTube for a while, do you get the hey, listen, once you throw this on and record it, it'd be good content for your channel. I love that one.
Yeah, man, I tell you, I'm still in the growing pain state, which I mean, everybody I talk to that's far more successful at it than I am. I mean, I found in that community, a lot of people are super supportive, which is really cool. I mean, it's it's weird, it's you start out and it's, I guess any business, so to speak, you start out and it's it's nothing, it's crickets, and then you just keep going and keep going. And you feel like giving up, and it's nah, everybody's just keep going, keep grinding out. And like you guys, I mean, I got a family now, and I got a full-time job during the day, and I when I do the chassis stuff at night, and now I've the whole YouTube thing on top of that. And it's I mean, it's I edit my videos 2 and 3 in the morning. I shoot most of my videos between 10 and 1 in the morning. You never know that, the garage stuff I do. And then, then during the season when we're racing, I try and do a lot of stuff from there, but it's and then the editing, it's everybody wants to be a YouTuber when it comes time to edit. So it's but now that I've made it a common thing, I've ripped the Band-Aid off, it's part of my routine. So I love it. And in the beginning, you get all the hate stuff, and I'm sure it's only going to get worse in the beginning, but it's I've talked to so many people, and people coming up to you at the track and all, and they're like, dude, we watch your videos, I really appreciate them, and it's so neat. And I try and do kind of infotainment. I want you all to be primarily entertained, but maybe you can learn something too. And I've had a lot of people be like, dude, I really appreciate you doing that. And I don't know, man. Like it kind of makes you feel good. So I love helping people. It's like
that's a whole different dopamine hit when somebody comes up like, oh man, I follow
dude.
you.
Yeah, it's pretty neat because I don't know, it's kind of weird. It really is. It's like,
it's like Scotty was saying earlier. You're like holding a camera. And
it's so awkward. Yeah. And until you do it for a while, like, you know, it's, I don't know, but like,
so that's where we're at with our channel. We just started, 13 days ago, we've released our first video January 1st. And so a lot of stuff we shot was so early, like it was over the summer, you know, like June and stuff. And I've just noticed I've kind of got a lot more comfortable with myself in doing it. But I mean, we haven't really put, I think we got 4 videos out now. We're still in the infancy of it. And I'm really just doing it just to have fun. I don't even edit my own stuff. I've got my real good friend Noah does all the editing.
Nice. So, dude, I'm jealous.
I'm watching the videos when you guys see the videos.
Can you DM me his number because I will send him my stuff.
That's awesome. Justin Chestnut, you were talking about the comments a while ago. We had somebody come in from a video, an LS swap harness video I did literally 3 years ago. Dude come in and starts hating on you ruined the truck. It's LS swaps for cancer. I'm like, the hell, man? And it was like 20 comments. I'm just arguing with the dude, having fun. I love it. I wish more people would argue and say
it helps the algorithm.
Because it doesn't hurt my feelings, you know, like, fuck you, man. This is me. I did this myself. And you go and look at their channel, they got no videos, no subscribe. I'm like,
it's part of life. I mean, whether it's, you know, this or selling popsicles, I mean, it's, there's always going to be haters, you know.
Oh, yeah.
But no,
I wouldn't have it anyway. It's too much fun.
I really enjoyed it. It's something that I don't know. Until I got involved in it, like I didn't think I'd enjoy it as much as I do. And like I said, I think like when the light clicked is like when people started being like, man, like, I really appreciate you doing that. Like I had no idea how to do this, or I never thought about doing that. And I've always been like super active, like on Facebook groups, whether it's, you know, the freaking C5, C6, C7 Corvettes, or especially the 4th gen F bodies. I mean, like back at LS1 Tech days, like, I was always on there, you know, in the freaking heyday of Yellow Bullet and all, like, that, you know, that was, you know, spent way too much time on that stuff. But
can we bring forums back?
Dude, I always say that.
How old are you, Robbie?
I'm 37.
Okay, yeah. So I'm 40. So like us middle-aged dudes need to bring forums back. Dude. We need to get back on them.
I love the organization. Like I am
I can search for shit.
Oh, it's exactly. And it's like in Facebook, like you throw something in and it's
everything but what you want.
It's tough.
Right.
I'm still on LS1 Tech every day. I get on there and just go through all stuff all day. I don't ever post on there, but I see everything everybody else posts. There's still a ton of good information on LS1 Tech.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, that was a good one too. The Penthouse forums. Carl Stevens says Yellow Bullet was so much fun.
Oh, it was, man. Oh, dude, it's like, I mean, like,
kids today wouldn't survive.
Oh, dude, like,
dude. So then, what was
the best?
What was your form handles then?
So I was ProMod 1955 on there. So like, we again, like, I guess I should have been like an NHRA like stalker guy or something. I think I missed my calling because I love taking like not a lot of horsepower, making it go fast. So like, you know, back when like like the heyday of the 4th gen Camaros. So like kind of going back to, I'd say 2006 to 2010. You know, we were always doing like the bolt-on records, the cam-only records and all that stuff on that. And like, I mean, to this day, I still have the fastest mile an hour for a bolt-on Camaro, which, I mean, it's stupid. It's a freaking 11-second car. But we went 1103, which is the 4th fastest ever bolt-on 4th gen F body. 1103 with a freaking naturally aspirated bone stock LS1. We went 1103. So I mean, awesome. And if I knew then what I know now, like it could have been running 1060s with the, you know, stock cam, stock everything. So man, that was, in fact, Tony, who started LS1 Tech and all that, I'm friends with him on Facebook, man. And
that's cool.
He's dude's an inspiration. I mean, he does a lot of stuff as far as like, entrepreneurship and all that too. I mean, it's been awesome to see him involved and evolve. And
there was something I think he was on, and he was talking about the progression of LS1 Tech and like,
oh yeah, absolutely.
I'll have to pull it up, but yeah, he's a great dude. And talking
really
about
is.
that whole history and like. There were so many times where they could have sold it and they didn't, and all this kind of stuff. It was really a cool. What's his last name, Tony?
Tony Watley. Yeah.
Watley, yeah.
He's super smart guy. So he's got 365 driven now.
Yeah.
Helps a lot of entrepreneurs, excel their business. And dude's very sharp, but down to earth, tells you like it is, which I mean, that speaks to my personality, man. I just
only way to be.
Don't sugarcoat it. Just let me know how it is. So,
well, like here's the biggest thing: like you can be super successful and still be a regular dude. Super successful. Like there's no reason like you gotta be. Yeah,
absolutely, absolutely. So, and honestly, I mean, if I can brag about him a little bit real quick, I mean, honestly, he's one of the reasons I started this. I mean, just like. Following his messages and all that. And it's like, dude, like you just got to go out there and like, you got to do this stuff before you're ready. So, and again, I'm sure a lot of people probably suffer from this a little bit, but I got a lot of like social anxiety, and it's like, I don't know. So I use this as a way to kind of escape that.
You're either going to be made fun of or you're going to get over it, and that's what I keep trying to tell my daughters. I'm like, listen, y'all going to have it hard. You better get ready. My little 8-year-old, she'll come in. Oh, somebody's mean to me today. I'm like, get ready. They ain't even mean yet.
Oh, dude. I tell you, man.
So then, Robbie, that's what pushed you into like dragon drives then.
Yeah. So, man, I remember, back before like the live feeds and stuff took over, like I could not wait for like the issue of Hot Rod to come out and like, like how fast did Larry Larson go? I mean, it was, I've always loved street cars, but like around here, like if you even think about having a fast street car, they'll freaking give you a felony. It's like, they don't play around here.
Wow.
So like, it's always been a dream, I guess, so to say, like living in this area, it's like, you don't really get away with nothing around here. So
man, that's crazy. I wouldn't make it.
Missouri,
if it's got tires on it, they're letting you drive it.
Oh, that's what Florida is, man.
We don't even care.
Yeah. So around here, it's kind of tough. So like I kind of lived through that stuff. It's like, I've always wanted a fast street car. That's why we always focused just like on our racing program and not so much like a drag and drive style car. Cause you never really could have anything like that around here. Yeah. But, I tell you, the more I do it, it's like, I just don't care anymore. It's like, whatever, it is what it is. So
that comes with age too.
Yeah.
I think, you go through high school caring what everybody, worried about everybody cares what they say about you. And then like you get older and then like you realize none of those people pay your bills and you're like, oh, well, I don't care what they think about it.
Absolutely.
See, like for me, like the Dragon drives, that actually started with the street rod days because we would load up in the dude's street rod and drive from Kansas City all the way up to Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Yeah.
And when I first found out about these events, I was very intrigued. And I got to thinking about when I was younger, riding in the back of that car. I'm like, man, if he built a car that can drive that far, why can't I build a car that can drive that far but make a couple quarter-mile passes in a week?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's really been our whole thing. That's like my car. I could literally replace almost everything on the car from an O'Reilly's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's how we built it. And that was the whole thing
Smart.
when I did it.
Yeah, smart. Yeah. And if you do it that way, you don't need to necessarily bring a whole spare car with you. Like, no sense in carrying the weight and all that. It's like I mentioned before, I'm kind of an overpacker, so it's like I got to be prepared, just in case, whatever. Like, I got an electric water pump on the Trailblazer now, and like I got to back up just in case that one, takes a crap. And it's like, but yeah, like if you try and do it to where you only bring the stuff you absolutely have to have. Like if you got that one Harbor Freight tool in the back of the toolbox that you need for that one certain thing on your car, yeah, you probably need to bring that. But like oil and stuff like that, just freaking pick it up along the way. Like why drag the weight, an extra 150, 200 pounds, especially if you got a lockup converter, you're freaking putting heat in the converter like the whole time you're driving. And it's like, why bring that if you can
we loaded all that
easily get it somewhere?
Because it's a Grand Marquis. We didn't care.
Hey, it's
Bad
a
Tree
school bus.
Productions. Yeah, Bad Tree Productions. This may not work for you being in Virginia, but I think me and Scotty need to look at this. No Name Nationals in South Missouri. It's actually in Sykeston, Missouri. If
Nice.
Okay.
Scotty, if you know where that's at, yep. Little 8th mile track. August 26th and 28th. Maybe it's 27th and 8th. Looks like it's a automotive YouTuber event, so that'll be cool.
Nice. There you go.
Yeah, a lot of big guys. I think Uncle Tony's Garage is kind of leading that, and he's got a couple 100,000 subscribers, which is always cool. And Sykeston, Missouri is one of the first tracks I ever made a pass at. So
nice.
Yeah, my little V8 S10 Blazer back before it was a V8.
Oh yeah, dude.
So, yeah.
Those things are so awesome. Like,
it worked so well. God, that thing was.
Yeah.
It was before I understood 8th mile was cool, and so we would race everybody to the quarter, and it would just lay over. It was a turbo 350 with a big converter and like a 373 gear and 28 tire, and like it would just.
Yeah, you'll have that.
Yeah.
They are pretty cool. I tell you, we just got of all the stuff I've ever owned. Like we just got an S10 like a year ago, and I don't know. Like I'd like to do something with it too, but I got some other stuff that's been collecting dust forever. I need to focus on first, but I'd love to have like just a regular pickup S10, but I'd love to have a little 10-second ripper or something like that, just something to have some fun with. But
we had discussed. My brother and I had discussed about me rebuilding that Blazer. It's a 2-door, 2-wheel drive, and I literally had it my senior year of high school, and so it had like 2-chamber Flowmasters that were 3-inch that had no reason being 3-inch. It was so loud, and that's what we cut our teeth on. And so I had, for my 20-year high school reunion, I had debated on rebuilding that and taking something like that. Not that I don't have that truck anymore.
Yeah,
and I'm sure it's not around anywhere. It's probably burned to the ground by now with all the wiring nightmares I did.
Scotty's pulled parts off of it and pick and pull yards. So
no, it didn't have an LS in it. It had a little small block. Had a dirt track small block in it from some redneck dude that
there you go
had built. Oh man, dang! I'm sure I gave way too much money for that motor. I don't even remember now, but we had discussed about rebuilding that and taking it and doing burnouts in front of the old high school.
Oh, there you go.
So actually, my 20-year reunion will be next year, and my goal for that is to put my black car back together and just do the biggest, gnarliest burnout wherever we're at. Just so them guys remember that car, because I actually have quite a few cars myself, but I do have my 91 GT that I had since high school. I bought it in May of 2002. So one of these days I'll get it back together. I have a serious love-hate relationship with that car.
There you go.
I love it very much, but every time I put it together, I hate one thing about it, and I tear it all the way back apart and start over.
That's why you play with the Rickety Rocket, because you can just beat on that car and it doesn't matter.
That is exactly why I have the Rickety Rocket, is because I'm not a Ford guy, I'm not a Chevy guy, I'm a car guy. I love all types of cars. And I got labeled as a Ford guy because I was into Mustangs, but I found that every time I took that car out, I would hurt something. It was expensive. I couldn't find it. I had to wait for parts, and I literally shoved it in the corner of my garage. I came across this notchback that I have, the Rickety Rocket, and we first had a small block Ford turbo set up in it. We had a little bit of fun. Apparently, I made the hot side way too small, and it would make boost at highway speeds.
Nice. Just driving along 5 pounds.
Dude, it was so terrible. And there's a whole funny story of going to the 405, the Sean and Chief shop one time with it. But we ended up taking the Ford motor out, and I was like, let's try this LS thing. Like, everybody keeps talking about this. So I bought one. All my Ford buddies were mad at me, and we put it together. And ever since then, that was literally the downfall of me, was put an LS in that car.
What year would you say you started messing with the LS stuff, if you can even remember like when that was?
It would have been like mid 2014.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, there you go. So I'd tell you, it's come such a long way. I mean,
And what sucks, if I was smart,
see you, Bad Tree.
Smarter than I am now, I had tons of friends that had the 5.7 Fortune Camaros. And even back then when they had them, I was like, man, do you know how badass it would be to take this motor, put it in my Fox body with like the, Moneymaker hidden intake nitrous setup, or like a fogger, and just go run around the streets, run in my mouth, but never pop the hood.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember saying this back in like 03, 04 and never did it. And I'm like kicking myself because that would have been one of the coolest things ever.
Yeah, for sure. It
even early for sure.
Yeah, we I guess everything I messed with was LS based. So I never really had to swap anything, so I was a little spoiled there. But I tell you, it was the best thing GM ever did was going to that platform. I'm a huge fan. Yeah, it's so the one downfall of it's so mainstream now that it's like
that is kind of the kicker. I mean, I am the guy with the LS, the turbo LS Mustang.
Yeah,
dude. But I don't care. I'm out to have fun. I don't.
Well, and hey, that's what I was going to say. Your car's running and driving. Generally the people that are complaining about LS swaps don't have anything that's running and driving, especially not running 1019 after driving in a week.
I've never been really an import guy. Like always just been domestic my whole life. But like with, so many different platforms being so common now, my dad's got a couple 55s, but he's got this one. Oh, it's a 55 two-door sedan. It's got awesome patina on it. Like, it's pretty cool. And it's just sitting around, and it's like, I would love to do like a billet 2JZ motor and stick in that thing. And I know that would upset so many of the purists, but it's like, I got all these ideas and just no money, but it's like, I would love to freaking do that.
So,
and like,
I'm a street rod guy. I love street rods. So for me seeing that, I'd be impressed. Like that would be super cool.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And you can make it. I mean, it's freaking easily be an 8-second car with the freaking, right stuff in it. So, and like, I would even love to like, I mean, I guess give it like a little bit of an original flair, like, take the 2J and like paint it like an original, like, 6-cylinder and like what a 55. So it kind of looks like period correct, but it's got some freaking rowdy, turbo hanging off the side of it. And, man, I think that would be so cool.
That's why we need to be rich, famous YouTubers.
Dude, I'm telling you, go ahead and like and subscribe. No, I tell you, it's,
like, share, subscribe, comment.
Guys, I have so many ideas in my head that like
that's the time. That's what I need. I need the time. I'll sell out. I don't care at this point right here. Listen, give me some time.
Buying in.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
man.
Yeah.
My buddy,
sponsor, write a big check.
My buddy Chuck with the CTSV, man. Y'all see it's a pretty freaking cool car. Like we're doing it right. I mean, it is. Awesome. It's nice and. We want to get the LSA blower record with it. I mean, it's like I said, I think it's like 850s right now. But man, if we could get that, like, man, I just got visions of putting like, some sort of like, roots blower on top of it, like a carbon hat sticking out of the hood of a CTSV with flames on it. I mean, it's like, come on, you know what I mean? Like, I want to do it but again, you can't drive it around here, but it's like, maybe we'll be in Florida by that time. I don't know, but it's. Man, just like stuff like that, like stuff you ain't got no business doing. I just love stuff like that. I don't know, so got that. Man, we got so many just freaking old car projects just like hanging around. It's like I got all these visions, but hey, one at a time.
I won't allow myself to buy any more than what I can. So the cart and the old truck or what, and I'm like, no more except for this boat that's coming.
You got so much self-control. It's like
because listen, my little brother, he would have a new project every week if he could, and then he'll work on it for a little bit. He'll get tired. He'll sell it. I'm like, no, I got to see it through. I got to do it. My brain won't allow me to.
I've got to see projects through. Like if I started, I want
Chuck says, "Oh yeah, it's on." Talking about the blower.
Oh yeah. Oh, and he'll do it. Like dude,
that's awesome.
Yeah, he's wide open, man. I can't wait till you guys meet him. He is the life of the freaking party. So
a good dude has a Pearl CTSV with huge flames like that. That dude's got it. He's got something right. I like where his head's at,
dude. Like anytime we go somewhere, it's just like any sort of like lengthy road trip, just like the laughing, like you get out of the truck and your freaking stomach hurts from laughing so much. Nice. Like the dude, like Mrs. Calling is like a freaking comedian, man. He's just good people, man. Just old North Carolina boy, you know how it is. I mean, just a good dude. So yeah, we do everything together. I mean, he's kind of like the other half of Coastal Racecraft, man. We we got a couple streetcar takeover events we're gonna do this year. We did some last year with the Trailblazer. and while I had his car in chassis prison. So,
Yeah.
so we're gonna do some streetcar takeover stuff this year. Can try and hit probably 3 or 4 of those.
Yeah.
Sick week. Play our cards right. Maybe we'll do drag week. So I've always wanted to do LS Fest. I've never done LS Fest. You know, and I don't know. It's just like Bowling Green's just far enough away from me where it's like a haul.
Oh yeah, dude, it's like 10 hours from me. So
yeah. And then and then the Sunday of LS Fest has always been registration day for drag week. So here recently we were going to do it. It's like, so but now they moved drag week, I guess, a week later now. It's like the first time ever they've pushed it back a week. So so if somebody did want to do both, they could. So but we'll see. Like I said, I'm going to have 2 little ones running around at that point. So I don't want to.
You're going to lose days of time.
I don't want to be a deadbeat dad. The family thing's important too. Frankly, having that little boy that's the best thing I ever did. You know, and I'm looking forward to having the girl too. So got a whole lot of new projects coming in. So and he loves anything with wheels, man. He's gonna be fourth. He gonna be 4th generation. I mean, I can already see.
He's got no chance.
Oh no, he's done. Like he needs a job now so he can start saving money.
Yes. CNC bender. Hang on, let's get this go-kart ripped out here.
Make no mistake. Like so it's I don't know. I was never ready to have kids, and then
I mean, you're never really ready.
No, that's what everybody says. But man, I tell you, it's ain't nothing like it. I mean, it's
dude, just wait till he grows up a little bit. Like 15 months, man, he's still small. Like wait till he really loves you. Like he loves you now, but wait till he's like 3 and needs your ass. You'll be like, oh man, I don't live without this.
I can't.
It's pretty crazy.
I can't wait. I mean, if just very blessed. My father was just awesome, and if I can be half the dad he was, it's going to be pretty neat. So I can't wait to show him, what's been handed down through, my family, and just, I don't know. I love giving back. The older I get, I'm more and more like, what kind of legacy can you leave? Like, what can you do for others? Like that's why I've been very blessed. I've been able to be put in situations where I've learned a lot from a lot of very smart people, and a lot of freaking hard work and a lot of sacrifice to do those things. And I just try, and anybody who'll listen, I try and spread that on to the next person. So especially racers, man, it's such a family. It's like Craig and Joey, that we met, like they're our family now that we met on the drag and drive stuff.
Well, the cool thing about car guys too, if you're a true car guy, like age really isn't a factor. Like you're not, early 20s, late 60s, like those dudes can have the same conversation.
Absolutely.
Because it's all engines and burnouts and ice cream,
Absolutely. The racing thing in general is usually like that. I mean, it's like, when you're on the track, like gloves are off, but man, you hit that return road and the helmet comes off, and it's like, that's your family,
Well, and like it's, I hate to say friendly competition, but like, they want you to run your best because they want to beat you at your best.
100%. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, there's been times like, we'll go to run somebody, the car won't start. I ain't going nowhere. Like, I want to run you. Like, it's a drag race consisting of 2 cars, and like, I will wait until, we can fix your car, whatever we need to do, but for sure. So, but even the drag and drive stuff, it's even a whole different level of it. It's, which is probably one of, I don't know, maybe that's why I like it so much. It's like one of my favorite things about it is the camaraderie here is it's drag racing times 2. It's like, I mean, you guys know, unfortunately, if somebody watches the live feed, they don't know, but like, somebody breaks down on the road. I mean, where else in the world can you go and you break down on the side of the road and you got freaking 20 cars behind you? Like, how can I help? Like, what can I do? Like parts or help or, whatever.
Well,
and, it's awesome.
So, Justin tagged me in something today, and he was talking about like bad decisions and stuff. And I was like, oh, you have no idea yet. I was like, drag and drive, there's horrible peer pressure to do burnouts in inappropriate places. But if you break it, those people are going to come help you fix it. So then you can do more burnouts. You know what I mean? Like, it's a great community for sure.
For sure. Yeah, I tell you, I wouldn't trade it.
You meet and make some of the best friends on these drag and drives. I've got friends that I've met doing these, and I don't see them very often. Troy Clearhout, lives up in Michigan. Met him 2017, 2015. Troy, help me figure that out.
Yeah,
But
Troy, make a comment.
I hadn't seen him face to face in quite a few years. Then we talked on Facebook fairly regularly. I hadn't seen him in like 5 years. So it had been 2015 then. So I was right. Yeah. But when he found out I hurt the motor, he goes, "Hey, I'm going to take the other guy back to the hotel and I'll come back." Well, he stole his co-pilot's car and came back to the track to help us put the motor in.
No kidding.
And it was awesome. It was so great. He hung around as late as he could. I mean, he left way early in the morning, got a few hours of sleep, and then they rolled down the road, but he was there the entire time. And it was just so awesome. And I'll never forget that.
That's crazy.
I wish more people could get into racing to understand that aspect of it. It was
even funny.
The world needs more of it.
Yeah, for sure.
It was funny how I met Troy. He was riding with another guy, and I'll tell you all right now, it is not a drag and drive until me and the dude run out of gas. So we go, and the dude's real good about checking mileage. You know, we don't have a gas gauge.
You just know, like, you're like, I got 10 miles left.
Yeah. So we got around this.
Do you have an odometer?
No.
Yeah, that's what makes it even better. So, dude, you're gauging your fuel usage on experience, but then you're also based on the mileage on the direction sheet. I love that. That's what Stoney did.
Dude, so we round the corner and the car shuts off and we pull over and I'm getting the gas can out. And these two guys I've never met stop and they're like, "Man, are you good?" "Yeah, man, we just ran out of gas. No big deal." And they're like, "All right, cool. We'll follow you to the gas station." And they were literally with us the whole rest of the time. Maybe not directly, but they always kind of had their back. And me and Troy became real good friends over that.
That's awesome.
And it was super cool. And like I said, I didn't see him face to face for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he found out that I hurt the motor, he was the one that drove the car to take me up to the tower to, make the lane call to Adam to get the motor. And he stayed all night. It was awesome, man. I love that dude.
There's no, well, I say this, but I don't think there's any other sport where you get that camaraderie. I mean, it's just it's a different animal. I don't know. And we're all fortunate to be able to be a part of that. I mean, it's very, very cool.
Only drag and drives are that tight. I mean, racing in general, but
it's drag and drives on another level. It truly
and I think it's because people, like, everybody wants everybody to make it. Everybody wants everybody to get to the end.
Absolutely. It truly, I mean, you're competing against each other, but it's a lot laxer than a top sportsman or a pro mod or, any sort of small tire radial racing or anything like that. I mean, it's, we all need to get to the end or if anything, just at least get to the end so we can battle it out on Friday. That's,
right.
Then we'll see. But, it's, you hear all the stories.
Oh, dude. So another great, everybody cheering everybody on moment where we also ran out of gas. So, Narks, you've been to St. Louis over in Collinsville, the hotel layout over there.
Yeah.
So if you come down the road and you go, out this way, our hotel would be, right here. Well, the main strip through these hotels, when we rolled back into St. Louis, 2015, and we've been over there quite a few times, so we knew the layout. We're rolling in, and I'm looking at the dude getting off the highway. I'm like, "We got enough gas? We going to make it?" And he's like, "Yeah, we'll make it to the hotel." I'm like, "All right, cool. Good." Well, as soon as we pull down the hill, everybody's lined up down the street. They're cheering. "Yeah, you made it. You made it." And I'm like, "Hey, should we go?" He's like, "Yeah, let's go through there." So everybody's cheering, clapping. We get around the corner where nobody can see us. We run out of gas.
Nice.
We're literally like not even 500 feet from the entrance to our hotel, and we ran out of gas.
Nice.
But nobody could see us, so.
My luck, I would have tried to rip some burnout in front of everybody and just ran out of gas halfway through the burnout.
So speaking of that, man, so I run a trailer quite a bit. I did my first trailer burnout ever.
Nice.
Just this year.
Nice.
Virgin territory.
Yeah.
There's a night for that down there, right? Like at I think it's South Georgia.
Yeah, they I don't know what the latest is on it. I I know there was that incident that happened, and not related to this, and I think towns are a little nervous about having some. So it's the latest I heard. It's still kind of up in the air. If anything, they're trying to have it more in like a controlled, contained environment. Do it the right way. Act like idiots the right way. So so I think that's
in the right area at least.
Yeah, absolutely. Just be smart about it and
supervise chaos.
Yes, absolutely. It's like my job every day, it seems like. But yeah, so no doubt. I mean, that would be cool to see that. I mean, obviously, like having the 1320 boys there. I mean,
oh yeah,
that's.
We talked about peer pressure earlier.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you got that freaking camera on you. It's like, oh, here we go. I'm 15 years old all over again. Here we go to the floor.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's what Justin and I were talking about. Was that car does really good burnout? So it's like, yep, it's on.
There you go.
He was looking at trailers today. We had there's 30 inches of floor space between the back seat and between the seat and the tank, and then it's like 4 feet wide. That's what we've got. So. He's gonna try and locate a trailer before we go, or build some kind of rack for the back for the tires. So
it's such a make or break, man. I tell you, it just, I mean, the convenience of not having to unload that stuff every day. It's like, it's get on the road quicker, get to the hotel quicker, hang out, do whatever. I mean, you guys know, like, it's freaking hanging out in the hotel parking lot at night, watching people pulling the freaking heads off their cars. And it's like, it's so funny to think that like a lot of these motors were built in a contained environment with their own air conditioned system. So it's like super clean. Yeah. And then the heads are laying on cardboard in the parking lot of the hotel. And it's like, what?
There's some dude going,
yeah, exactly.
Blowing the dirt off. Or like Eric Wilson. Have you heard that story? The dude like changes a piston and rod on the side of the road in his 50 International truck on 2.0 last year.
No kidding. Jeez.
It had eat up part of the valve, and so they took toothpaste and like lapped the valve with toothpaste. So it had, it's the whole thing. He's still driving with it. It's his daily, makes like, I think makes 700 or 800.
And that's the stories that like,
oh yeah.
Like drag racing, like sometimes you can fix the stuff between rounds, but it's like, you have any sort of failure, put it in the box and go home, most of the time.
Hey, that dude drove that rig from Colorado. No family came with him. It was him by himself. Drives over here, makes the runs, makes it to the track, gets through the week, drives home, still driving it. I mean,
that's wild.
It
really is.
Two of the dudes that stopped and helped him were, Rich Guido and
the Canadian truck
florist. Yeah. I mean, stick guys running, low 9-second cars. They're all in the dirt. I mean, it was in the gravel driveway of somebody's house, So pretty freaking awesome.
Dude, that was the worst part about when I lobbed that motor in Tulsa that year is the truck and the trailer, we could see it from where we were pitted, when we decided to swap the motor, and it was just staring at us the whole time like, hey, are you guys done? I kept turning my back to the truck. I was like, nope, like we're going to do this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've already mentally prepared.
I hate that I was such a pussy on the cart and didn't try and at least. The crazy thing is, if you drove it like a normal person, it had no third or fourth gear, but you could put it in second and mat it, and it would pull through third and fourth, and then I'd throw it in neutral. I drove like 40 miles like that. I'm like, could I have driven 150 miles like that?
Yeah, you never know.
yeah. So I should have. I probably would have made another 20 miles further than for my brother, and then we'd have just both been hosed.
Oh yeah, so, no doubt. You're really stuck in the middle of nowhere. So.
Oh yeah, it would have been bad. It would have been. It was 5 o'clock in the afternoon. If we had left at 11, I'd have limped it. But man, leaving at 5, trying to make the award ceremony, beating on the car the whole time, I wasn't into that. I was weak.
The first day of Hot Rod Drag Week, it rained all morning, so we didn't even get started until midday, and it just so happened the drive from. I can't remember if we raced at Cecil the second day or we raced at MIR, probably MIR. And we got started so late because of the rain that like when we left VMP is just south of Richmond, which is a ton of traffic right there where 85 and 95 and all that come together.
Oh, wow.
So we literally were like, everybody's leaving at 5 o'clock on Monday, having to deal with 85 and 95, interstate traffic. And like, I remember like Tom Bailey, like part of it, Tom Bailey was beside me, and we're going like 3 miles an hour, and I'm like, am I really like on freaking Interstate 95, like in stop and go traffic beside a pro mod? Like, is this real life right now? Like, is this happening? So
can you imagine somebody that's not into cars? They're like, what is that?
What is it? Oh yeah, that's one of them new Teslas. Yeah, like it's wild. Yeah, we didn't get to that hotel the first night. We didn't have any problems, and like we got to the hotel, it was like 12:30 or something like that. And then when we get there,
that's early.
They didn't even have our room. So so they had to
put us.
So they freaking had to put us in some hotel, like 10 miles away. It may have been that far away, but not where we wanted to stay. And honestly, after driving that far and dealing with all that stuff, the last thing I wanted was to hear like, oh yeah, we gave your room up. And it's like, y'all killing me. So rest of the weekend went pretty good.
We paid for 2 rooms one night. We paid for a room at I think we booked it at 8 because Stoney had broken the Nova. And then we weren't going to be there till like 3 a.m. Well, I told the person at 8 that we weren't going to be there till 3. And so then we show up and they're like, oh, no, it's gone. I'm like, oh, my God. I was like, do you got a couch? Like, lay on this couch?
Can I sleep in the lobby?
So we drive like 40 minutes.
In the lobby.
Yeah, we drove 40 minutes to the next one, slept for 3 hours, and got back on the road. So,
man,
I just would have slept in the lobby.
I'll be right back. I've got some kid that is literally back to back calling out. Y'all talk amongst yourselves.
No problem, buddy. Absolutely.
That's the greatest part about narcs is, you just stuff comes up and bails
real life, man. I tell you, I was a little worried because like we put Colton to bed about this, like right when we started, about like 7:30, 8 o'clock, and I'm like, oh man, is he going to be like crying the whole time? I'm like, we're starting this. Like, yeah, nobody wants to hear a crying baby. So I'm like, please cooperate, dude. I laid him down and he was like, just I was like, thank
lucky you. No, I think my kids and my wife are upstairs. I think they're watching something on Netflix in the bedroom.
There you
go.
Nice.
They're not running around this time. So.
Oh man, I tell you, it's dude, having a family, growing all the time is like, I was. And I always just like did my own thing and like did what I want to do when I wanted to do it. And it's like, I got to be responsible now. Like I've got obligations. So it's been a little bit of change, but it definitely for the better. So, and
it definitely changes for sure.
Yeah. I'm very lucky. My wife, man, she, between all the car stuff and all that, man, she puts up with everything. And
my wife, Alyssa, she is a trooper for sure. She lets me get out of the house and go work on all these projects.
Takes a special person.
With the neighbor hater, when I bought that, it's a dual purpose thing. So obviously we're going to take it out to the tracks. We're going to pull a race car with it. But it was bought on the other premise that, and we're going to do it for sure, take the kids and her, and we're going to go hit some national parks.
Yes.
So
very cool.
Huge nature person. She loves being out and seeing all this stuff, and so I'm super excited to get that thing done.
Oh, dude, I'd be almost more excited about that than freaking pulling the race car. To be honest with you,
I mean, I'm super excited for it for sure. I can't. We were so close to getting it done before Sick Week.
Yeah.
But then I had to, kind of stop and shift gears and focus back on the rickety rocket.
Yeah, absolutely. But, at the end of the day, that you got to make it 5 days. So if everything got to be in order for that to happen. But that's really cool. We drove cross country. We drove from Virginia Beach, like far east as you can get. We drove to Santa Monica, California, so as far west as you can get, and did it with Chuck. And it was a memory that I will never forget. And a buddy of ours, Robert, came with us. And man, I tell you, it was. I recommend everybody do it. I mean, we had to go get a race. Well, we delivered a race car and picked another one up. And man, I tell you, driving cross country, it was so neat. I mean, freaking Tennessee and all that, just absolutely gorgeous. And then, is it I guess 40 that crosses like Oklahoma and Texas and all that. So we basically carried that all the way across, and then. I had at that point in my life, I had never, been to Arizona or anything like that. So like seeing all the flat rock and then like you go down to like Flagstaff and it's like there's trees in Arizona. Like, where are we? You know, it's amazing how elevation can completely change the landscape. And I ain't from there, so I had no idea it was. I thought it was all just dirt, you know. So it was cool to see that, and then pop up out of there, and California is basically all desert until you get right into the heart of LA, and it's this manufactured, it's manufactured tropical oasis that they've created. So, but yeah, man, driving cross country, everybody's got to do it at least once. I mean,
I've been all over the Midwest doing, between the Dragon Drives, doing the street ride stuff. I've been all over. I've seen all kinds of stuff.
Yeah. So
I just love riding in cars in general. So
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's a happy place. You're talking about cross country stuff. So all of this year is cross country, cannonball type stuff and Dragon Drive event content on the podcast. That's all I intend to talk to.
Very cool.
Yeah, so
very cool.
We're gonna make that trip at some point this year.
A cannonball run would be pretty neat. I mean, that's
dude, I want to so bad.
Yeah,
we're gonna do it. I'm gonna do it at some point. We've been invited to an event in September that's kind of like a reunion of a lot of the cannonballers that have made the trip in the past, and obviously to go, I got to make the trip. So
absolutely. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know, but how do you guys feel about when they did the cannonball run during the pandemic and everything, where everything was shut down?
I mean, talk about perfect.
You're still driving 195 miles an hour.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's.
I mean, they still did it, but I mean, it's super cool and it's awesome, but at the same time, everything was shut down, so they kind of got like a weird pass.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's.
But think about that. The other side of that too is like how much more trouble they would have gotten if they had gotten busted, because they're
very
not,
wide open. Yeah.
Arnie's like a Chicago guy. I mean, like why are you in California? Why are you in Arizona?
Absolutely. Yeah. Didn't they broke it like what 2, 3, 4 times within like a month or two or so? Yeah, it was wild. Like,
so there was like a white Audi that did it, and then Fred Ashmore, who was on a couple weeks ago, did it solo in a rental car, and then Arnie and Doug destroyed everybody's time. So and it was in like a 5-week window, I think.
Yeah, just freaking insane, man.
Yeah.
I would just like to do it, not even trying for the time, just to literally take a car, from all the way over here and then come,
Yeah, and I think the cool part is the history of that too, but then also like I've never been to the Northeast other than on an airplane to Rochester. I've never been through Ohio. I've never been through Arizona and all that kind of stuff. So just to be able to, I mean, you're going at speed trying to make a respectable time, but
still spending a little bit of time in the state, even at 200.
So I mean, we won't be going like that, but our goal is like 36 hours. Which is, I feel like, respectable for a first round. But, then the way back, the guys, Matt Dennison and Bryce Mays, who were on, they did it in a Volkswagen Jetta TDI, 33 hours or 31 hours. And they came back 66. Like, they live in Atlanta, and so they came back 66 all the way to, I want to say Oklahoma City, and then bounced down Oklahoma City? Yeah, I think Oklahoma City. And then bounced, normal highways from there. So I think that'd be super cool too, to be able to see all that stuff and have fun and take some time. But
what's the average speed that they do that? Isn't it like 100, 110 mile an hour is like the average that they usually do? Or
yeah. So like Doug and Arnie's time is like 106 or 108 average. So
I mean, think about the average. Like
that's getting behind a 62 mile an hour semi.
Or like that
for 42 miles or whatever, or you get stopped in traffic for 30 minutes.
And then you got to make it up on the other side of that to.
Good
God.
Yeah. Arnie and Doug said they hit like 193 several times and not just like we do, just a blast to get there,
just
but
sustained.
Like sustained 150 plus. It's pretty wild.
Oh yeah. Hey, figure the cooling system to hold that. I mean, it's like taking these cars, never made to do anything like that.
Right.
And just like that, the tires and stuff like that. I mean, what kind of heat does that generate in a tire to run that fast for that long? It's wild.
Yeah, that's what's insane to me. And that's what I kind of geek out on is the prep. not necessarily the trip. The trip is cool, but like you're literally in a car driving. You can't. There's not like efficiencies you can gain by doing that, except Matt and the pedal and feeling completely unsafe.
Yeah,
30 hours.
I tell you, like, you do something like that and like turn around and like something like the salt flats, like the salt flat stuff would be. It kind of on my bucket list. I mean, I don't know if you think about it, like running 300, 400, 500 mile an hour for that long. It's like a little sketch, but it would be that would definitely be like a bucket list. Like maybe just to do it once, like just to say you've taken something that not a ton of power, but through aerodynamics and all that stuff, like it's just wild how fast they can get some of that stuff. So
how the hell did you do 100 on the Fort Worth Expressway?
On 2.0. Man, hey, listen. We beat the rain that morning because we were in carts and we were like, we're getting the hell out of here. And there were guys having big time struggles on radials in the rain on the expressway. I can't imagine.
See, we were smart and we rolled through that at night. And it was insane how much traffic and how hot it was rolling through there at midnight, 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. Rob, you ever been through Texas at all?
So a little bit, like, in fact, honestly, I think the only time like we physically like drove through it was on that trip out west. Other than that, it's like flying into Texas. Like we hit a PDRA race at Texas Motorplex one time, and just driving around there a little bit, which is insane, and then like getting back to the airports. Good God. But other than that, that's about it. Haven't really spent a whole lot of time in Texas.
Dude, that was nuts rolling through there. We're going through there at midnight, and I've got the trailer behind me, and I'm rolling through there in the right lane, I'm probably running 70, 75.
Oh, yeah.
You had people that would run
1 a.m.,
right up on the ass of the trailer, dart out to the left to pass me, and then cut me off to get on the exit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm rolling like way over the speed limit right here.
Oh, dude, you ain't doing shit down there. There's 85, 90 everywhere they go down there.
Dude, it was insane. Like, I could not wait to get out of downtown. It was so bad.
Like, when you go to, like, Florida, it's either, like, if you're in the left lane, you need to be doing 90. Like, it is.
Well, that's what Tom said in one of the videos.
Oh, it is, like 80, 90. With my, during the day, I do stuff other than chassis building stuff. So we work for a really large recruiting firm. And I've got an office in Jacksonville, an office in Orlando, and an office in Tampa. So down there quite a bit for that stuff. Yeah. And it's like anytime I fly into Tampa, it's like, dude, like you
get in.
Like if you're in the left lane, you're doing 90. Yeah. Like I mean, I'm talking like 80-year-olds like barely like running 85 mile an hour.
They're looking through the gap in the steering wheel.
Oh yeah, it's like we're all gonna die. And then even if you're in the right lane, I mean, it's wide open. So like I'm sure that might be a wake-up call for some people, especially like if you ain't got overdrive, you don't have a lockup converter, and you're just kind of putting along 50, 55. It is I mean, Grant, I don't know how much interstate driving we're going to be doing anyway, other than maybe I think on the way back we are.
I was going to say from South Georgia to Tampa, it's 95 or what? 75. 75.
Yeah, so it will probably run into that a little bit. So
that's what he was saying. He's like, listen, it ain't no bullshit. It's like 80, 85 miles an hour.
And that's accurate. Believe me, it's either that or stopped. It's like there's no in between.
Like a light switch. Either you're on or you're off.
100%. Yeah. Like the traffic in Orlando, and they've been working on it forever. But like right there in the heart of downtown Orlando, it's like the whole I-4 area. They're like completely redoing it.
Oh,
and
geez.
It is.
Let's bring some race cars, like 350 of them at the same time.
Which I don't
about Sick Ward either.
Yeah. You got 600 cars, 650 cars, something like that, like all together. So it's gonna be wild. Which I don't think they're taking us through I-4. Maybe they are. I don't know, but it's.
I'm fine with it this year because I don't have the trailer, so I can
bob and weave a little bit.
Normally do.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, anybody who's been on I-4 in Orlando, like they know what I'm talking. It is a disaster.
Martin says it's so flat you can see the curvature of the earth.
Yep, absolutely, very accurate. Same
That's
thing here.
awesome.
Like we have no hills, so it is dead flat. Oh man, I can't wait for that
awesome.
drive. Definitely can't.
Yeah, it's going to be a ton of fun. I'm pumped. Let's kind of wrap it up a little bit. I do want to kind of shout out to the SixPodsofSickWeek guests that we've got coming up. I'm excited about these folks. So let me read off their names real quick, and then we'll get back to some regular conversation and probably start winding down. Next week, we've got Michael Corsilli and James Rowlett, Rowlett. The 27th, we have August Mickelson, who I think is a rookie, Jeff Dugopolski. Say that one. Dugopolski.
Probably from Michigan. Yeah.
Yeah, and Mike Turner. And then we kick off with Luke Niewhuff, Danny Diesel, Stephen Mask. And then I'm excited about this one. Rob Lapenske with the yellow twin turbo gasser is going to be on. They're actually leaving the 3rd, so I think he'll be on the road as we conversate. So that'd be fun. Him with Zach Blum and Steve McDermott Jr. And then I fly in on the 4th because that's when the cheap flights were from XNA here for Northwest Arkansas. Sorry, and so me and Justin Chestnut are going to go live from his garage, overlooking or looking at the Model A. And then that's going to be a short one because Streetcar Takeover is Friday night and Saturday.
Yeah.
At Bradenton, and we hope to attend that. So
there you go.
It's going to be wild.
They're awesome events, man. Justin and Chase and all, they put on an incredible event. We've done 4 of those now.
That's
so
awesome.
Can't miss races for sure.
Oh no, man. Streetcar Takeover is awesome. That's actually based where I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
I've actually been friends with Justin for I can't even tell you how long it's been.
Nice.
And so him and Chase, the whole thing they do, love their events. So
you've got a Streetcar Takeover shirt on.
There you go.
Nice. So when they did the home show or whatever it was, the kickoff party, we've done it at Ameristar, we've done it at Arrowhead, all kind of stuff. We used to work the VIP section, me and the dude.
Nice.
Very cool.
I've been around Streetcar Takeovers since day one.
Nice.
That's
Very
cool.
Always been super close. Justin's shop, Killer Performance, is literally like 8 minutes from my driveway.
Oh, cool.
Go over there fairly often, hang out with those guys.
Yeah.
Convenient.
So,
I'm excited. It'll be the first one I've attended. Derek Kelly, who races Bam Bam and Dr. Evil, is a good friend, and he keeps trying to get me to do like a weekend trip with him. He'll leave on like a Thursday night and go do one and come home, And I can't ever make it work. Like the 2 weeks of drag and drive events this year is going to make it really hard. So my wife is so understanding.
Streetcar Takeover events are awesome, and apparently they're going to get a lot more awesome this year. So they're changing up the format a little bit, doing a couple things, getting a lot bigger with the event. So it's going to be pretty cool.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
The progression of that's so cool. All right, well, y'all, let's, what do we want to leave people with? What do we want to, one more topic maybe? What do we want to talk about?
I tell you, I guess if anybody's watching this, it's probably because, they've either done a drag and drive event or they're thinking about it. And my biggest piece of advice is do it. Like, don't even think about it. Like, grab your wife, your best friend, freaking son, daughter, just do it. And it's not about going fast. Like, I mean, everybody loves the fast cars, but I think on either Rocky Mountain Race Week or Race Week, the guys with the school bus, the little short bus, running 16, 17, 8, 20, whatever it was. You can do that too. Don't feel like because you don't have an 8-second car, you can't do it. We're lucky. We got a lot of fast stuff that we race, but I'm out here with my freaking daily driven Trailblazer SS that, runs 11s on motor and, 10s on spray. And it's you can take something like that, have just as much fun. So go do it. Or a 15-second car. It don't matter. Everybody's got to start somewhere. So definitely just do it, put in the PTO and make it happen.
Yeah. Dude, I can tell you guys right now, I've done 7 of these things and my car has progressively gotten faster every year. The most fun that I've had was the first year, 2015. My car ran low 13s. And it was the most fun I ever had. I spent an entire week with my dad, the dude, and it was a blast. It was literally the funnest time we've ever had. And it's gotten better, gotten worse a couple times, but literally just get out and do it. You know, I tell everybody that wants to do one of these, it's not about the racing. Mm-hmm. The racing is the bonus. Mm-hmm. The whole key to these events is getting out, seeing America, and just meeting people.
Yeah.
Seeing the back roads. You know, you find some random ice cream shop and there's a bunch of other race cars. And you'll probably see 8-second cars, 9-second cars, you know, whatever. But all the people that you meet and hang out with and the cars, that's what these are about. Mm-hmm. Having fun with friends and people that are going to be your friends.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a great way to do that. And here's what I'll say. Co-pilot, offer to co-pilot, you know, that's probably one of the easiest ways to get into. Like if you don't have a car, can't build one to get there in time, offer to ride with somebody. There was a ton of solo folks in 2020 that would have loved to have somebody with them.
Dude.
So, and Danny Fatka says here, it's the real America off the beaten path.
Yes.
Back to that. So it's a ton of 2-lane roads. We were thinking about it on our way home last time. How many times do you just absolutely, if you're driving on vacation, it is how fast was the fastest
get to the destination. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this is very different. And I wish there was a way that the live feed could encompass that. Like,
hey, listen, I'm gonna tell you right now, if I don't put out 50 videos this week, the week of Sick Week, it's gonna blow my mind.
No, absolutely. Like, it's insane.
Mean, it's shorts. Like we probably won't do highly edited videos to pop every day, but like stuff throughout the day. But yeah, shorts all day, live. I'm going to go live a ton live stuff if we've got reception. So.
I'll never forget it. When we did Hot Rod Drag Week, we were a couple, probably about 20 miles outside of MIR, and man, like I almost get emotional thinking about this because I used to be that kid. There was a dad and his son with their truck just, parked by the street as all the cars would go by. And they had the truck backed up with the tailgate down. And it was literally just a dad and a son just like watching the cars go by. And I was like, dude, like that's what it's about. Like the racing, all that's great.
Yeah.
But like, and I pray that kid one day is on a drag and drive. Cause I mean, it's
that kid is, he'll never be right. Like, because he'll be like, those cars drove, like those 8-second cars drove past us,
Yeah, absolutely.
He'll be like, what do you mean you trailer your 11-second car to the track, pussy?
Absolutely, yeah. He's like, goes to school and tells all his, friends, and like they can't even comprehend, it's like, oh no, like we totally saw this, just man.
Well, it's like when we talk to Blaine, he's like, we're like, do people at your school know how cool you are? He's like, how they have no idea, So,
dude, man, the junior program is the best thing ever. I spent a ton of time in it. My sister did.
That's awesome.
That's how I met my wife. She ran juniors.
Wow.
She's from Pennsylvania.
Who was faster?
Well, I don't know where she's at. We'll just go with me. But she's from Pennsylvania.
Goes black.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I said,
but like literally, she's from Pennsylvania. I'm from Virginia, and we met at Silver Dollar Raceway in Macon, Georgia, or Reynolds, Georgia. Yeah. So it's like that, and and I've known her for 20 years. And
that's
it's
awesome.
like that. The sport brings so many people together, and like we got very lucky in that regards. But man, just the junior program, and I mean, you're just growing up in the right household, and I tell you, it's a cool thing, and I'm a huge advocate for the junior program. I mean, there's a lot of people that I ran juniors with that obviously are in, at the very top tier professional level motorsports now, or maybe don't race, but like still do something, involved in racing, whether it be some vendor or something like that. So it's a good thing to get into if anybody was ever interested in doing something like that.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a great networking thing too, to be able to all the professional side of stuff. Cool. All right, y'all send them out with something. Tell everybody bye. Tell everybody what to do.
Oh man, I tell you right now, like y'all, if you're even remotely close to Florida, come out, have a good time, bring your family. Like even if it's for just a day, like I might even freaking buy me a red hat and be Red Hat Robbie. Like, well, like I'm telling you, like, guys, come out. It's the best thing you'll ever do.
That's what we need to do.
And it's Florida.
We
you
need
can't
like
go wrong.
50 red hats.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Everybody, like, what the hell?
Which one's
Yeah.
That's cool. That means I'll be incognito. I can just hide underneath all you guys.
You'll be like a normal dude again. It'd be awesome.
Where's Scotty? Oh, he's at the Buc-ee's. Like, easy to find.
That's exactly right. All right. That's right. Listen, you'll be able to find us. We're going to have a cooler of daddy drinks and waters. Come find us. We'll be in a black and green Model A if it doesn't have a blown motor by then. So, and if not, we're going to change it. I mean, we're just going to swap it. I mean, dude, like, you can see the whole motor. Like, why would you not? You know?
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
So it's going to be a good
like,
time.
It's like a dyno stand, but with like a rear end and a transmission in it.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So we got 2 more weeks of Thursday night live streams, and then Sunday through Saturday, we're going live every night. I would say probably an hour and a half, 2 hours every night until then, and then I'm going to cap them at an hour for the week of Sick Week. So, because I've got to spend some time with my family, or they're going to kill me. So, all right, I'm going to end this. Thank you, everybody, to watch this. You guys stay with me. We'll talk about when we're going to hang out down there. So, all right, guys, later. I promise car content is coming. I'm editing another video after I get off here tonight. All right.